which is a seizure of private property. Favors even more government spending on entitlements, despite the $40 trillion debt. Supports amnesty for migrants not convicted of violent crimes in America. Wants to defund ICE and border enforcement. Objects to military action against drug smugglers. Supports homeless people living in public spaces. Now, that's a very tough list to swallow for non-ideological voters and provides a shield to Republicans who are facing higher prices for the essentials of life. So, the cliche goes, anything could happen in the midterms. Back in a moment. Homeowners, when is the last time you checked your home title? Scammers are everywhere and they're targeting your equity. With just a single forged document, they can file at the county. So don't wait until it's too late. Find out if you are already a victim today. Please go to HomeTitleLock.com. Use the promo code BILL to get a free title history report, plus a free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection. That is the Morning O'Reilly Update. More analysis later on.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by Connor Roofing. You can count on Connor for all your roofing needs. Visit ConnorRoofing.com. That's CONNER Roofing.com. Vic Porcelli.
Come on, you're Italian. You understand.
Every day is a busy day all of a sudden.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Tough and smart, and I love Italian, so, he's definitely Italian.
At least I have this show to come and talk about it and let some stuff up.
What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today?
The Vic Porcelli Show.
Good morning, freedom fighters. Hi, Ken.
Hey, good morning, Victor.
How are you, baby?
I'm good.
All right. Big Thursday show today. Kataline, love her. She's first. Tony Kinnett, he's crazy at 11:05. And Nate Lucas, how long have we've been saying together, why do we rely on China to make our medicine, our antibiotics?
As long as I can remember.
As long as the show's been on the air.
Yeah.
And now somebody agrees with me finally.
Finally.
I forgot who it was.
The EU.
No, I mean,
our
Kenneth
guest?
Rapoza.
Yeah.
Coalition for a Prosperous America. Yeah, I can't wait to talk to him. Who is doing the Pledge of Allegiance?
Well, Vic, the author, Charles Marino, he's the author of Terrorists at the Border.
Italian guy, I believe.
I think a little bit.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, good morning. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So, Ken, what do you make of the comment that Jill Biden made, that she thought Joe was having a stroke?
Why didn't you run into the room and stop the proceedings?
Well, you know why? Because she wanted to say to Joe, "Good job, Joe. You answered all the questions."
She said that she thought that he was having a stroke, and then yet after the performance that he did, took him into another room.
Right.
Didn't say anything about stroke. It's a lie, Vic. It's a lie. It's cover up.
Because that's what you do. All the commercials say it. If you feel like you're having a stroke, go to an event.
Go to the next.
They don't say rush to the hospital.
Right? No.
Go to another event. That's how you treat a stroke. All right, let's talk to Karen Kataline.
The one and only Karen Kataline.
Did you know that I'm married to a trucker? I feel like using a Yiddish word, famished. Toiling in front of my computer, I am. They're just too dumb to lie. He has the effect of 6 shots of scotch.
I could only live to see it, to be there with you. What I wouldn't give for 20 more years. Here we are, protected. Free to make our profits without Kiefer with the damn Justice Department and the FBI. 90 miles away, partnership with a friendly government. 90 miles. It's nothing. Just one small step, looking for a man that wants to be president of the United States and having the cash to make it possible. Michael, we're bigger than U.S. Steel.
How about that? And Cuba still in the talks, in the discussion.
I'm telling you, don't you cavell when you hear that. You know the word? You know the
I
word
do.
cavell.
I saw it recently.
It's
I
a
saw
great Yiddish word.
Cavell.
Cavell.
I will keep
You
that in
gotta
my
say
arsenal.
KV, cavell.
Kvetch, Cavell, right? That's
Yeah,
good.
cavell, the same idea, cavell. But cavell just means,
Oh, Frankie.
I love hearing it.
So,
I love hearing it. Yeah.
I saw a quote the other day from Meyer Lansky, who, by the way,
Really?
Hyman Roth, the character you heard in Godfather 2, based
Yes.
on Meyer Lansky.
The real Meyer Lansky.
Yeah. And the real Meyer Lansky said the difference between us and the government is we turn a profit.
I love it. Oh, is that precious? Or what?
Government can't seem to handle it. They just can't seem to.
Well, and the other thing is, he always made money for his partners.
Yep. Johnny Ola, our friend in Miami, will back you all the way.
Friend in Miami.
All right. So let's talk about Karen. First of all, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Thank you
How
for
are you?
agreeing to do the show Monday.
I am.
Was it Karen Kataline you called or a different Karen?
Am I doing the show?
I'm hoping so, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And don't you guys team up on me, okay? No
It'll
more
be fun,
no
Karen.
being
Are you
webby.
kidding?
Yeah, we will. And we'll have a good time.
We have every intention of teaming up on you.
Hello.
I'm not going to listen to him. No, I'll listen.
Are we gonna know where you're going?
Yeah, I'm getting ultrasound of my kidney and my aorta.
Gee, I thought it was going to be something fun.
When do I ever take a day off for anything fun?
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, I hope everything's all right.
I don't know. We'll see. Yesterday, I had to go to get a CT scan, cancer screening, lung cancer screening scan. And that's going to be the subject of Porcelli's Deli because, believe it or not, it was a hoot. It was so funny because
You're kidding.
I basically can't keep my mouth shut. That's the theme of Porcelli's Deli today.
I'm so shocked at that.
All right. So I want to talk about
Yes.
Mom
Donnie.
Mom Donnie.
Yeah.
Kami Mom Donnie.
Kami Mom Donnie. Because it's not like it's. If we could have taken, do you remember in the Blues? So stupid. Remember in the Blues Brothers movie when they wanted to promote their concert and they had the car with the big speaker on top of the roof? Hey, you on the bike? You know,
Yeah.
I wish I could have done that all around New York City before the election. Hey, you raping that guy. Don't vote for Mondani.
I used to live with that feeling.
Yeah.
If I could just find these people and grab them and shake them and
Right.
choke them and say, "Don't do it."
So now he wants to seize buildings from bad landlords.
Through our new citywide campaign, Fix the City,
God.
we will focus on the worst landlords in New York City. When necessary, we will take aggressive legal action to remove negligent owners and property managers. And for buildings that have suffered chronic neglect, we will work to transfer ownership to responsible stewards. Stewards that include community land trusts, nonprofits, or even the tenants themselves.
I haven't heard it because it makes me so sick to my stomach I can't. I saw the headline. A friend of mine called me this morning and I said, "Who's surprised at this?" He told us who he was. He told us what he was going to do. And oh, you know, those responsible stewards, you mean the ones that have tent cities in all the major cities in the country?
They like it,
You know,
I guess.
you can't rationally make an argument with these people. Number one, I don't believe that a lot of the places that have voted in people like this in radically leftist cities, the election was fair and reasonable. Unfortunately, the minute they get in, it doesn't matter. Nobody's going to challenge it. People have to suck it up and deal with it. But it was a revelation in 2020, the number of Democrat states who had an enormous amount of election fraud, because it's easier. It's easier to steal in states where they're already friendly to your agenda. So, people wondered, well, why do they need to steal in places like California and New York? To keep power, obviously. But that being said, it's infuriating. What can I tell you?
So
I can sit and wax philosophic. It's infuriating.
And Karen, it's that suicidal empathy, that suicidal fear of becoming an Islamophobe, that people are stepping back, letting them do whatever they want to do. Have called to prayer at Times Square. Have people having called to prayer in Times Square when they have 80 mosques around New York City. Why do they do that? Why do you think they do that? I know it has to do with, I equate it to dogs marking their territory.
Great analogy.
Oh, conquest. And
Yeah.
you're exactly right. This is a little premature, but this was one of the things I wanted to talk to you about on when we get to talk and play while the host is away.
Okay.
On Monday, I want to talk about suicidal empathy. I mean, I'd love to get Gad Saad, the author of the book. I just bought the book.
Yeah.
But even if we don't get him, I don't know if you've ever had him or if he's even on a speaking tour. The title of that book is the whole book, but it's so important. But the one thing that I wish that would be in there, and I don't think it is, I haven't finished the book, is that there's two kinds of leftists. They're the strategists who are putting out this poison, suicidal empathy, and the people who do that as nothing more than a political strategy. Okay, there's the hangers on that fall for suicidal empathy, but then there are people who know damn well that that's not what they're after. They're not compassionate. They only do it for power. That's the only thing they do it for, to inoculate themselves from their horrible policies designed to destroy the country.
So the first time I heard the phrase empathetic suicide was from my man Ken Williams, and
Suicidal empathy.
Sorry, suicidal empathy.
That's okay.
And then I think it was that night or the next night he was on Gutfeld. Gad said was on Gutfeld. Not you, Ken.
Yeah.
Ken,
I wish I
Ken
were.
hasn't
No,
been
no.
on Gutfeld yet.
I would have represented.
We're working on it.
You'll be on next week.
So, and I'm like, well, Ken's onto something, because Ken has been my mentor in this Islamic takeover that nobody seems to see but Ken Williams, and he's right. Because what if, I'm thinking about New York City, right? I grew up 15 minutes outside of Manhattan. We were in there. We were in that city so many times. We were so good at that city. When we went to a concert at Madison Square Garden, we found out that FIT, Fashion Institute of Technology, just 2 blocks from the garden, you could park right in front on the street for free. So we did. We walked a couple of blocks over the garden. But I'm thinking, as this takeover of Islam and all the mosques that you talked about, Ken, on New Year's Eve, what do we do? The countdown? 10! Oh, wait a minute. We got call to prayer. Hold on. Before we bring in the new year, let's all call to prayer. This was the greatest city in the world. And I say was because I don't think it is anymore.
Well, that's a great point, Vic, because they're stopping traffic every day almost now.
So why would they not stop a New Year's countdown?
Exactly right.
This is horrifying that they're allowing it. Not only are you right, Ken, that it's like a dog marking its territory, but think of what the message is designed to do to the average New Yorker.
Yeah.
It is religious intimidation. We own the city now. We got a Muslim mayor. We got a Muslim communist mayor. And we own the city now, and don't you forget it.
Well,
This is how they get no-go zones, right here.
I just want to point out, Ken's okay. He's not great. Okay? He's all right. He's not like the greatest
Vic?
producer. Yes?
Vic, I hate to disagree with you,
Okay.
but Ken is great.
You and Ken, he's all right.
Thanks,
He's-
Darren.
You and Ken and I are in our most current promo for the show that runs all day during the show. When I said,
We are?
I wanted to ask you a stupid question. And then you said, there are no stupid questions. Then I ask you the question, and Ken goes, boy, that's a stupid question. Great. It was great, and it's a great promo. All right, so
It would
Ken,
be like the Three Stooges.
kind
Who's
of.
Curly? Who's Mo?
Right. So number 3, Ken, let's make sure we're on the same page here. A Chicago activist and representative from listen to this, Inner City Muslim Action Network Islam in America. Jana Sellers?
Yeah, she's at the State House in Illinois.
Oh, my God. Go ahead.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We turn to you in gratitude and remembrance. O Lord, remind us that the history of Islam in America is not a story that began in 1965, nor one that arrived upon distant shores in the 20th century. It is woven into the very tapestry of this nation. It is part of Black American
There you
history.
go.
A story not only of bondage, but of spiritual emancipation.
Oh,
A freedom of the soul that existed long before its material counterpart was realized.
Material counterpart.
Let us honor that truth with fortitude and clarity. O Sustainer, remind us that this
O
story
Sustainer.
is stitched into the fabric of our land and carried in the sacred inscriptions.
I can't.
These are lies.
What they're doing
These
is
are
they're aligning
pure-
it now with the black population and their
Yep,
history.
Yep. Yep.
Did you see?
And
I'm sorry.
who thinks? Sorry, I'm sorry.
Nope, you're my
you
guest.
never interrupt me, and
Nope.
you should.
Oh, no, I would never do that.
You should. You should. You really should. Who thinks that the open borders of 20 million people and people being flown into the Roosevelt Hotel doesn't also have to do with opening our country to Muslim conquest like they did the so-called Arab Spring for Europe?
So, yes, sometimes in history there are little moments that you can go back to and say, see, we told you so. At the ICE Detention Center in Newark, New Jersey, two guys who look, like brown people. They were brown people. They were Latinos. They come out of the gate and they walk away, and everybody thought that they were detainees being let go.
Yes.
And like,
I
woo,
saw
yeah.
that.
And lady goes,
I
they
saw
work,
that.
They work here, dumbass.
You racist.
Well, the problem with these little things that happen locally, like that things that don't get necessarily reported, but luckily this one did yesterday, the day before. An old man was walking his dog past a mosque. There were some Islamists in front. They didn't like the fact that he walked a dog near the mosque and told him, keep the dog away from my mosque, and beat him up. Yeah. And that's the whole thing. These little intimidations locally, hyper-local intimidations that grow, that fester. That's the problem we're having right now.
Well, and you have only to look at Europe. You have only to look at France, where women get pet pot-bellied pigs to protect them from Muslims who want to rape them because they believe
Gang
that all
rapes.
Western women are prostitutes.
Oh, my God.
This is a true story. I read it quite a long time ago. And there are places, there are absolute no-go zones. And gee, when did that happen? I hate to repeat myself. Right after the Arab Spring. When did the Arab Spring happen? Anybody know? Raise your hand if you know.
2010!
No.
A year after the Muslim Marxists took power in America with the help of George Soros' money. And they were touting it because they always do. Compassion! It's compassion! And then people bought into it and they became afflicted with the disease that God talks so much about, suicidal empathy. That inoculates them from paying attention to reality.
All right, one question for Ken, actually. The story about the guy with the dog in front of the mosque. I just want to ask a stupid question. Can I ask a stupid question?
Of course.
No.
Did they want to beat up the guy or beat up the dog?
The guy, because the guy had bruised
probably
eyes.
both.
He was pretty bruised up.
I think Karen missed her line there. She was supposed to say, that was a stupid question.
I did. Well, didn't I?
I thought you
said
did.
no.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
said no.
I
Just
answered.
so you say.
I know I answered too fast.
It's
Is what
all good.
happened.
Yeah.
All right, so listen.
Yeah.
Karen Kataline segment sponsored now like a big shot.
Oh, baby, I love it. Even my husband said, "Oh, you."
So what is today? Today's Thursday, so we don't get to talk till next Thursday because we have to have a discussion about this Tallarico weirdo that's running for Senate in your state down there, okay? So we'll plan on that.
just the smartest thing to do to be a vegan running for office in Texas. That's smart.
Yesterday, he told people in Texas they're going to stop eating meat for
yeah.
climate control. Good luck with that, douchebag. All right, Karen.
Yeah, they were worried that Paxton can't beat him. Yay, Paxton!
Yeah, man.
Okay.
He was great.
Yeah.
Hey, have a great weekend. I'll see you in a week.
too.
Don't you two take over the show. Or I'll
We're thinking about you. We love you. Come back soon. Bye.
See you, Karen.
Wow. What a find, Ken. Right from the beginning.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Karen Kataline. She was just the best. All right. Ken, next Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, is the wrestling match.
Yes.
Happening at Lindenwood University at the beautiful J. Scheidegger Center for the Arts. News Talk STL, the Hammond Institute for Free Enterprise, bring you the Republican Central Committee wrestling match. It's going to be all the three candidates, Jason Law, Bill Eigel, Steve Ellman. We're all part of it. We're going to be broadcasting it all live. Tim and Chris will be there from 4 to 6. Doors open at 5:45. Program starts at 6:30. And the wrestling starts at 7. All brought to you by Mid-Rivers News Magazine and the Lewis and Clark Pachyderms Club. For more information, go to NewstalkSTL.com.
It's no surprise to me, I am my own worst enemy. 'Cause every now and then
Follow us on Rumble at NewstalkSTL. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show.
My focus is just stay focused.
I want to be clear.
On News Talk STL. This Karen Kataline segment brought to you by Gingham's Family Restaurant. Locally owned and operated. Just south of 70 on Highway 94. This is 101.9 and 94.1.
Female millennial Trump supporter. I listen to it like every day. Like, seriously, you get it.
News Talk STL.
Tim Jones here to introduce you to your new favorite roofing company, Correll Roofing. There were 4 major storms last year. Did your roof take a hit? Do you even know? Most homeowner insurance policies require claims to be filed within 1 year, so time's running out for a closer look. At Correll Roofing Company, you get a local roofing specialist who will advocate for you every step of the way. Give yourself peace of mind. Schedule your roof inspection today with Correll Roofing at CorrellRoofingCo.com. That's CorrellRoofingCo.com.
Hey, it's Susie Moore. If new flooring makes you think hassle, think again, because Michael's Flooring is changing the game. For over 30 years, Michael's has been locally owned and trusted for quality, variety, and amazing service. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, laminate, luxury vinyl, or ceramic tile, their expert team makes installing new floors exciting, not stressful. That's why customers keep coming back. Visit Michael's Flooring at St. Peter's, Darting Prairie, Creve Coeur, or online at igotfloored.com. That's igotfloored.com.
Springtime in St. Louis, and if you hate to paint, do what your neighbor Mr. Rob Miller from Harvesttown Auto Body in St. Peter's did. He called Rhino Shield. Rob, what was the thought process for going with Rhino Shield as a business owner?
My family's business is over 10,000 square feet, and it did not have the curb appeal I wanted.
Rob, tell everyone how the experience was with Rhino Shield from start to finish.
The process that I liked was when you came out, you gave me all of these options that would fit my building. Our building was really faded. I don't want to have to paint my building again. 25 years is a long time to not have to worry about the outside maintenance of your building as far as paint. That's a no-brainer. That's why Rhino Shield worked for me.
Are your neighbors jealous?
I would be if I was them.
Thanks, Rob. Now it's time to call 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Genius.
No paint, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
How dare you!
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
Good morning. Welcome home. I'm Vic Porcelli. That's the conspirator over there, Ken Williams. Because after Monday, I'm going to get a call back. You know, Karen and Ken just sounded so good together. The K's, K and K. We're just going to let you go. You think that's going to happen?
No.
Okay. I hope not.
That's silly.
All right. We have a relatively new feature. I think we've only done this once or twice so far.
Yeah.
But we really wanted to do it. And we call it, What the...
What the? the? What? What the? What?
Boy, what in the hell?
What the? So here's what the. This happened one day, just out of the blue. Ken and I were just sitting here doing the show with nothing to do because we don't prepare for the show.
Right.
I'm kidding. I don't prepare for the show. Ken does. And all we did was go back and forth on posts on X that we've bookmarked.
Yeah, just real quick, kind of rapid fire as much as we can anyway.
Yeah. So do you want to go first?
No, you go ahead, Vic.
Okay. I had one that I reposted with Ken's tag, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
And I said, this is what's missing from baseball. And it is Don Zimmer, who used to be a Yankees bench coach. He was the manager of the Cubs at the time. And he's mad about something. You don't see the play in the video, but you see the argument. And I swear to God, these two literally, their nose touched. And their noses touched at one point. So here's the thing about it. Why now would a manager go and argue with an umpire when
Right.
everything is automated, everything's computered, right?
Yeah.
I know I always go back to A League of Their Own.
Yeah.
But Tom Hanks, when he tells the ump he looks like a penis with a hat on, and then they start arguing, that was part of baseball, man.
Was.
You know? And the greatest thing about this video, Ken, is the umpire never throws Don Zimmer out of the game.
No, he lets him go.
And he walked back to the and we continue. It was so great Americana baseball. So that's that.
What the?
All right, man, Vic. Do you understand what New York City just accidentally admitted? New York City spent $81,705 per homeless person last year. The median American household earned $81,228. The government spent more to keep someone homeless than most families earn to keep themselves housed.
What the what?
What the what? Gavin Newsom, governor of California, says he will impose a 100%. Hold on, I got to do this, don't I? I am so sorry for screwing up the bit. Okay, here we go. He will impose a 100% tax on payments distributed from Trump's January 6th slush fund, he calls it.
One thing that I think we're going to try to do with your support is tax 100%. Anyone from California that receives any of those funds, we want to tax 100% of those proceeds.
It's
and
not.
That's an action the state of California can take. It's an action we look forward to taking.
It's not a slush fund. It's an anti-government weaponization fund.
Yes.
But they won't say that, will they?
No.
And
No, they'll have a slush fund for Congress with our taxpayer money. But for Americans, they won't have taxpayer money for them.
Right.
What the?
Reinstate McCarran-Walter Act of 1952 forbidding Muslims from holding public office.
What the?
Mazie Hirono of the United States Senate says that the Save America Act, she calls it the Save Trump Act, would disenfranchise millions of eligible voters. Oh, sorry.
What the?
Let's see. This is to dear Chuck Schumer.
Oh, boy.
Hi, black dude here. I can trace my family ancestry to slavery. I even know where they were slaves. My mom experienced Jim Crow. I think I've watched every episode of Eyes on the Prize when I was younger. With that said, can you explain to me, please explain to me, how the SAVE Act is Jim Crow 2.0? Literally every black person I know has ID. Literally every black person I know has a car, at least a ride. Literally every black person I know knows how to vote, well, except the ones with felonies, but they don't count. With your advanced white liberal thinking, you must know more than me. Apparently, as I experience daily on the app, white liberals are experts on being black, even more than the actual black folks. Perhaps you could explain it like I'm 5. I'd look it up on the internet, but Kathy Hochul has already told me I don't know what a computer is, and Joe Biden said I can't navigate it anyway. Looking forward to your answer. No hugs, Zeke.
What the?
Can I dovetail on that?
Yeah.
Because actually I was supposed to play this on mine with Mazie Hirono. Because if you're a woman and then you get married, you can't vote.
There's this huge push to pass the SAVE Act. It's more Save Trump Act. And what does that act do? It would require millions and millions, all of us who are registered to vote, suddenly we will have to show proof of citizenship, either through a birth certificate or a passport. Millions of people don't have either. Married people who take their partner's name will not have a name that matches their birth certificate.
Oh,
so
my
what
God.
are they going to do? There are going to be millions of people who are not even going to register to vote. And you think Trump doesn't know that? Of course he does. That's why he wants the SAVE Act to be enacted. That's why the Republicans would like to see the SAVE Act enacted, because they know that millions of people will be literally disenfranchised by not even being able to allow to vote.
Ken, your wife, Caddy?
Yeah.
Is her maiden name Williams?
No.
No, what? Wait, what?
Nope.
So her name was something else?
Mm-hmm.
And then she changed it to Williams? Has she been able to vote all these years?
I even asked her what if she had a problem, because I didn't remember any problem, and she said, and she looked at me kind of funny. She said, "No, never had a problem."
Jessica too. She had a nice short little name, Gray, and then she married Porcelli. All right, that's fine.
Okay, so I can go. Okay.
What the? Go ahead. Your turn. Oh, wait, it's my turn.
Yeah.
Sorry. President Trump just bodied a fake news reporter at the White House. The question was, why didn't you invoke the 1977 law to impose tariffs during your first term? And here's his answer.
President, your tariffs policy goes into effect tomorrow.
Yeah.
As you know, a federal appellate court today heard oral arguments about whether or not you had the authority to unilaterally impose those tariffs. I'm not going to get you to weigh in on the legal arguments, but you're weighing your decision to do that, your authority to do that, based on a 1977 law. It's never been invoked before. Why didn't you invoke this law?
Well, we've been winning all along.
I just want to ask you, why didn't you invoke this law in your first term? You could have taken in billions upon billions of dollars in your first term, but you waited until your second term.
Yeah, because in my first term, I was fighting lunatics like you who were trying to do things incorrectly and inappropriately to a president that was duly elected. And we did do certain tariffs in the first term. If you look at China, we took in hundreds of billions of dollars from China. But when COVID came, the last thing I was going to do is tell France and Italy and Spain and a couple of other countries that we're going to hit you with tariffs. We had to fight the COVID situation when that came. But if you look at my first term, we took in hundreds of billions of dollars worth of tariffs, but you people didn't cover it very well.
What the? All right, one more here, Vic.
Yeah.
You got breaking. $47 billion just walked out of New York. New York lost 892 companies and $47 billion in income. IRS migration data confirms the exodus is real. 892 companies left New York, $47 billion in income. Florida gained 341 of those companies. Texas gained 187, and even North Carolina added 129 of those companies.
What the?
What the?
What the?
What the?
Boy, what in the hell?
All right, there you go. What the? Hey, guess who's coming up next? I guess he's coming on, right?
I hope so.
He didn't answer any calls or
That's
texts
all right. He's
or
here,
emails.
though.
He's in the building.
He's here.
J.C. Corcoran, he's next on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
Watch us on our live stream using Rumble, Facebook, and Twitter. Vic and Ken. Vic brings the thunder. Ken steals the thunder. Ken, Thunder Stealer. The Vic Porcelli Show on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL.
You know, the first way to fix a problem is to admit you have a problem. And Ken has, he's admitted he has a problem.
I do.
Thunder Stealers anonymous meetings every Thursday night. Gets his little coin. Then he falls off the wagon once in a while.
Every day.
It happens. So I got to go up and hang out with Chris Cooper the other day because his 100th show. Ken, 100 shows?
How cool is that?
Where did that time go? We sat in his cool little studio. Stacy was there, and everything was cool. They got. She made me the best iced coffee. By the way, she made me an iced coffee.
Nice.
Because that's the kind of people they are. A conversation, not a lecture. I think that's what I've been missing in telling you. It's not a lecture about what you're doing. What are you doing with your money? No, not going to get that with Chris Cooper. A great, nice, fun conversation, and then you walk out a little bit more confident in all the, monetary things you have in your life.
In addition to everything else that you're going to mention about Chris, I just realized that we've never talked about much about the email list you can get on with him, and I'm on it. And he's got an article right now called "The Bank of Mom and Dad" that you've got to read if you have kids.
I'm sure if you go to serenitynowtax.com, you can find and get that email every day, right?
Yes.
All right. So go to Chris Cooper's great website, serenitynowtax.com. Get one of his 2 free books. 3 books. The Business Owner's Playbook for Financial Clarity. That's at serenitynowbiz.com. I'm sure you can sign up for the email there. Great radio show, 100th edition. Not this Sunday, but next Sunday I'll be on the 100th show with him.
And it'll be full of feature with fun with finance.
Serenity Now! Chris Cooper.
Investment advice offered through Fortis Capital Advisors.
Serenity Now! Tim Jones and Chris Arps in the afternoon.
President Trump says he won't rush the Iran deal and doesn't care about the midterms. Steve Bucci will tell us if we're any closer to peace at 420.
Tim Jones and Chris Arps. Weekdays at 4 on News Talk STL.
The Laborers International Union of North America, Local 110, was formed in 1933 and from the beginning has strived for progress and the well-being of others. The laborers of Local 110 are hardworking men and women who take pride in their great work. They are the fastest growing union of construction workers and one of the most effective unions representing plants and quarries. Laborers Local 110 has the best medical benefits, pension, education, and heavy construction training in the market. Visit lu110.com and start your future today.
The Herzog Tomorrow Foundation provides private school tuition scholarships through Missouri's new Most Scholars program to cover the cost of accessible, high-quality schooling.
Hi, this is Myella Esser with the Herzog Tomorrow Foundation. Our private school tuition scholarships wouldn't be possible without the support of generous Missouri taxpayers. If you're a Missouri taxpayer interested in redirecting your tax dollars and sending them to Missouri students in need of a better education, please contact me at herzogmostscholars.org.
Better education for students creates a better tomorrow for all. Learn how you can help provide a better education for Missouri students at herzogmostscholars.org. That's herzogmostscholars.org. Also, sign up for The Lion, an initiative of the Herzog Foundation that carries articles covering a wide range of issues facing American families and culture. herzogfoundation.com. That's herzogfoundation.com.
All the information I need on the drive to work.
Mike Ferguson in the morning. I keep it on throughout the day, whether it's local, national, or something big that's happening overseas.
News, analysis, and opinion.
St. Louis is #1 for conservative talk.
News Talk STL.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by Connor Roofing. You can count on Connor for all your roofing needs. Visit ConnorRoofing.com. That's CONNER Roofing.com.
Whoosh.
Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019.
Hi, this is Yakov Smirnov, and you're listening to Vic and Ken on Vic Porcelli Show on the News Talk STL.
What a country. 1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home. Well. Look who has dropped in for a little
Look at
visit.
this.
Our old friend J.C. Corcoran. What's
Look
up,
who
man?
just blew in off the street. Yeah.
And boy, are my lips tired.
Yeah. I just came from Channel 5. I was doing their streaming channel. They were very nice over there. Did that and just doing a lot of pre-publicity for the big Brian McKenna Day, year number 2, coming up on Saturday afternoon. The weather gods are cooperating, partly cloudy and 83 for Saturday afternoon. So this thing is 2 to 7. Brian McKenna Day, year number 2. Streets are already blocked off at Mackland and Nottingham. And, probably about 10 different restaurants and bars. Last year, I wish I could remember the name of the restaurant. Last year, they were doing margaritas.
Uh-oh.
and let me just tell you, when you're emceeing and you're doing, I had a lot of responsibility. And it was probably 4 hours into the event before I had my first chance to breathe. just catch my breath, just long enough for me to stand in the margarita line. And so I went over there and I ordered a margarita and I just pounded it. Okay, and I said, give me another one. And as I'm walking with the second margarita back to the stage, the first one kicked in. And I love a bar or a restaurant that actually puts some freaking tequila in their margaritas, and they did, and I hope they do it again this year.
Yeah.
And a great band, Fix Newton. You know, they played last year. There's some really good cover bands. You know, Kelly Wilde and Clint with Trixie Delight.
I know you love Trixie Delight.
Really good cover bands, and Fix Newton played last year, and man, were they good.
Yeah.
So they're going to be there again this year, and you know, there was so much goodwill. There was just so much goodwill.
Your vibe attracts your tribe.
I shook hands with people I can't stand. It was great. You know,
I love that. I shook hands with people I hate.
You know, and people don't really know the whole backstory on this. You know, Brian beat cancer twice.
Yeah.
And the prognosis, a lot of people know the prognosis wasn't particularly good even after the second, bout. And Brian left a sealed envelope in his credenza, and he told his best friend, Stephanie Bozich, he said, if anything happens to me, the instructions for what I want are in the sealed envelope in the top drawer of my credenza. So when Brian was tragically killed crossing the street down there on Hampton, Stephanie went into his house and pulled out the envelope, and everything that we did last year and everything we're doing again this year were according to his specifications, right down to the name of the band, right down to the celebration of life and what he wanted. He wanted everybody just out running around smiling and laughing and having a great old time. He wouldn't have wanted it any other way.
So, JC, you mentioned this is year 2, so we're going to start a tradition here. This is going to be every year.
I'll bet you I'll be here 10 years from now promoting this thing again. It's just taken on a life of its own.
Yeah.
And everybody just wants to cooperate. Everybody just wants what can I do to help?
Do me a favor, though. We used to have some amazing Mardi Gras events until they made it incorporated.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't just let it be what it's going to be, because Hampton could really benefit from this.
I think you're right, and I think that will happen. This is very much a neighborhood street party. Yeah. You know, last year, it was the crowd estimate was around 5,000. If you take into consideration everybody who sort of came and went, because I did a head count about 5 o'clock in the afternoon last year, and I came up with, I think it was 2,600. But that didn't take into account the thousands of people who had stopped by early on, hung out for a couple of hours, you know, had a couple of drinks, whatever, and then left. So you put all that, he raised about $70,000 for, and Brian had a whole list of cancer-related charities.
Of course he did.
That he wanted to benefit from this. And so those people are splitting up all the money. And, you know, we just hope it's going to be even bigger this year. I suspect it will be.
You know, Brian always wanted to help.
Yeah.
Always.
Vic, for every charitable function you heard Brian's name connected with, I guarantee you there were 2 or 3 others that you didn't know anything about, because he was constantly doing. This is what got him off. You know, certain things, motivate people in different ways and for different reasons. And for Brian, just doing stuff to help people in any way he could, as often as he could, that was his thing.
Wow.
And on a smaller scale, when I lost my job at the river, it's the first job I ever lost. I know you're used to it by now, losing jobs.
I don't know anything about that.
But he called me immediately and said, "You want to come on the show?" You know, if I said, absolutely. We're in some crazy sports bar. Nobody does that.
Yeah. Well, that's actually how we met, because it was back in the very early 90s, if my memory serves me correctly. He was doing a cable show called Jock Talk. And what he did is he just contacted the cable and company and said, "Give me an hour." And then he went out and he sold
great at that.
Sold all of his own commercials, and had, he had big name people on all the time. And, Bob Costas, the managers, coaches, names that you would know from the sports world. And he just did all that on his own. And we thought that was really cool. So we called him, and that's how I met him. And we did a lot of hanging out. And, we were on the air together on 9/11. Me, Karen Kelly, Brian McKenna, and when you go through something like that, we were on the air for 7.5 straight hours. And when you go through something like that, I think there's a bond that develops. And I think for that reason, Karen and Brian and myself were we're bonded for life on that. You know.
The 1380, when it was a sports station, Brian and Close and I did this show called The Men's Room.
Oh, God.
Which was great. It wasn't necessarily all about sports, just stuff guys would talk about. And it was a great show. And
Did
I
you
always
scratch yourself a lot?
Only when the cameras were on.
Right.
But I remember he would lean over, like he had bad posture or something. He would 11:05 in St. Louis, and this is the men's room. And he looked at his watch in his hand instead of looking where there's clocks all over the wall.
He was a very analog type guy. Yeah.
And what's wrong with that? That's why
right there, Vic Porcelli. He's Mr. Analog.
Really?
Yeah. We have digital clocks all over the room. Right. He needs that one.
Well, you know what? I have a 16-year-old daughter, and she can't read a clock like that.
Really?
Can't read an analog clock?
Cannot read it.
We have to be at a 5820. Ken always writes it on the board. I can't look at the numbers and talk. I have to watch the thing. That's what I have to do. All right,
He's a caveman.
Let's talk about.
You see?
I don't know about your fancy digital clocks. I'm a caveman.
My sundial says that. Let's talk about the nicknames.
Oh, God.
You've given people throughout the years.
I was talking about this when I was on with Jamie yesterday. And now, here's the thing. That was one that did not stick because his nickname when we worked together in the mid-'90s at KSD was the Acid Monkey. So that one didn't stick.
I can't imagine
why.
but I mean, look, it's still Yo Vic.
Yes.
That was the name I gave you.
Yeah.
It's still the U-Man.
Hold on. That's all about me. Everything's about me. When we first met, right, when you came to the river, it was the Fox at the time.
The Fox, yeah.
And JC, this is JC. I'm like, hey.
And Ken, you were doing the all-night show back then, weren't you?
No, not yet. I was doing promotions for the Fox and the Point.
Okay.
Yeah.
He didn't get treated very well at that radio station.
Yeah, well.
So
later I did.
I walk up to meet
Join
JC.
the club.
I walk up to JC to meet him the first time, and he says, "Oh, you're Vic. Yo, Vic." That was it.
Boom.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, and then the sports monster, Steve Schlanger,
Yeah.
who's doing the friggin' Olympics now.
Good for him.
Who would have guessed?
So tell us, U-Man.
The U-Man, that was just, everything was, it was just, I don't know, it just struck me odd that, somebody's last name and it starts with U.
Right.
And I don't even remember. I don't know what the birth of it was. I have no idea. I just started calling him the U-Man. And I was telling Vic before we went on, back in 1985, Tommy Herr was walking through the bowels of Busch Stadium after a game once, and John was down there doing interviews or something. And Tommy Herr yelled and goes, "Hey, you man!" And John came in the next morning with his nipples hard. He was so excited that the ball players were apparently paying attention, and he's still the U-Man.
I have a story like that too.
Yeah,
Chris Pronger. We did a charity wait on people, celebrity
Oh, yeah,
waiter thing.
sure.
And I got teamed up with him. I liked him. He liked me. My son fell in love with him. And we were at the Bob Costas Gala that was at the Fox that year. So it was halftime. We go outside for a smoke, my wife and I. Tons of people. You know how many people can crowd into one little small area like
Sure.
that in front of the Fox? All of a sudden I hear, "Yo, Vic!" And, Pronger's 3 feet taller than everybody else.
Seriously?
And it was him.
Wow.
And he had my cell phone. He used to call me for no reason whatsoever.
Mark McGwire's 61st home run went right underneath me and Chris Pronger. We were in the Stadium Club, is that glass enclosed dining area out in left field.
Mm-hmm.
And that ball was hit like it's coming right at us.
Yeah.
And it went right below us. And we didn't, obviously, you can't see from there. And it went right below us into that little crevice that was really small, and they dug the ball out of there. But, yeah, that was the night.
Yeah. And 62 was amazing. So your shows that are on this station are, JC, I got to say, they're great.
Thank you very much. This weekend, by the way, people like to pretend that they don't know the name Ron Jeremy. They like to pretend they don't know it.
Classic pianist, from what I understand.
Who are we talking about?
Classical, sorry, classical.
Ron Jeremy, and if you start really crunching the numbers here, it's mind-boggling. He starred in about 2,000 X-rated movies. 2,000. Right now, in every movie, there's probably 3, shall we say, scenes in which he would appear.
Yeah.
So now, multiply that. So that's 6,000 times.
Encounters.
Yeah, encounters. And that doesn't even take in consideration whatever sort of personal life he had. So anyhow, a great interview where he talked about, he actually had a discussion with his father about what was, shall we say, developing as a young boy. And the story is, it's spectacle, I'll say that. But he's going to be on this weekend with us.
Okay.
He was in Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
He was in Ghostbusters.
Just for, like the crowd, when they come out, he's in the crowd. It's not like, that's Ron Jeremy. Now, he is a classically trained pianist, is he not?
If he is, I'm unaware of it.
He is. He can play classical piano.
There's a joke in there somewhere.
Why do I know
there
so much?
really is.
But why take this show off the air?
Right.
Right.
I've seen him, but I've seen him in cameos in other films too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like he just comes in and he's gone.
And then the other thing we're doing on Saturday night on the Wayback Machine, because I was talking about the Sunday morning show we do, that's all me yakking. But on the Saturday night show, we're going to be recognizing a lot of the bands that performed at the Muni back before the Riverport Amphitheater was built. And, before we had, before Irv Zuckerman and Steve Shankman sunk their money into Riverport. And for years in the 70s and 80s, there were acts like Kenny Loggins and Crosby, Stills and Nash and Santana and everything. And that was our outdoor facility.
Wow.
And people have very, very fond memories of that era. So we're going to be featuring a lot of those bands this weekend on Saturday.
I saw Loggins there.
I didn't even know. Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that
It
story.
was before you got here.
Yeah,
The whole history of the Muni that took place, up until that point.
So can I say one more Ron Jeremy thing here?
If you must.
When I was in college, I worked at a movie theater. We had.
I can't wait to hear where this story's going, Ken.
I know.
Kenny, I cannot
I got
wait
my
to hear
finger
where
on
this
the button
story.
here.
Yeah, here we go.
Smoking the Bandit. I've saw that millions of times. Kentucky Fried Movie Hall. But the same people that owned that theater, if you walk through the mall and out by the back door, there was X-rated theater, 2 of them. And I got to tell you, it was like any other movie premiere. Couples, we had movie posters. Jennifer Wells was the big female star, and Ron Jeremy was the big male star. Never saw him play piano, though. But I swear to God, if you look that up, he can play piano.
There's a joke there.
Brian the Cat of Day, Saturday afternoon, 2 to 7, Mackland at Nottingham. I'll be on stage yakking away. And we hope to see everybody out there. Weather's going to be great. Food and drink's going to be great. Just a good thing. You'll walk away from this thing on Saturday just feeling good.
For an amazing man.
Yeah.
His vibe attracts your tribe.
Yep.
It's this Saturday. JC, great to see you.
Thanks, JC.
All right. We're out.
Yo, Vic.
Yo, Vic. That's me.
Whoosh. When insurance companies know you're represented by Under Law, they know Under is not going to let you be pushed around. Their reputation is built on years of courtroom battles. If you suffer an injury or damage to your property, serve the insurance company notice. You have Under Law on your side. A St. Louis firm you can trust to protect you at every term. Don't settle for less. You want to win? Believe me, Under wins. Under, O-N-D-E-R, underlaw.com.
NewstalkSTL is proud to have Doug Voss of Safe Bunny Radio as part of our lineup each week. Doug has been a staple on the St. Louis radio airways for many years as one of the leading financial experts in the area. You can now hear Doug and Safe Bunny Radio every weekend on NewstalkSTL. But in case you miss anything, you can check it all out at DougVossSafeBunnyRadio.com. What else do our listeners need to know, Doug?
Simply put, I focus on helping pre-retirees and retirees build, preserve, and protect retirement assets, and I've been helping my clients solve their insurance and financial needs for the past 33 years. I also strive to educate my clients on how to prepare for retirement, minimize the impact of market volatility on their assets, and deal with the challenges of increased longevity. Call me today at 844-676-SAFE. That's 844-676-7233.
Doug Voss is a registered representative. Securities offered through DHL Securities, LLLP. Member FINRA and SIPC.
KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Bellefonte, KNBS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 1019, 94.1, and always streaming at NewstalkSTL.com.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. I'm Rich Thomason. Rising energy prices helped drive inflation to a 3-year high last month, 3.8% from a year ago. It is a smaller increase, though, than economists had been expecting. Fresh challenges to the tenuous Iran ceasefire. Kuwait targeted by Iranian drone and missile strikes, and the U.S. hit military targets in southern Iran.
U.S. forces carried out new strikes Wednesday on a military facility in Iran, what they describe as defensive action. They say it came after the downing of 4 Iranian attack drones that were posing a threat around the Strait of Hormuz. U.S. forces also struck an Iranian ground control station in Bandar Abbas that was about to launch a 5th drone. It all comes after President Trump expressed confidence the U.S. was making progress in talks to end the war.
It looks like they want to just make a deal. They want to. I don't think they have a choice.
Ben Thomas, Washington.
The Israeli military has stepped up its attacks on Iranian proxy Hezbollah in Lebanon. At least 14 people killed there. 2 people confirmed dead, 9 others missing following a chemical storage tank explosion at a paper mill in Longview, Washington. The search of the missing is getting underway, albeit with extreme caution.
Operational conditions, it still remains active and it's extremely hazardous in the recovery environment. Recovery operations will continue as the conditions safely allow.
Longview Fire Battalion Chief Matt Amos. Today's AAA national average for a gallon of regular gas, $4.42. It's down 3 cents from yesterday. Oil prices are higher this morning amid an uptick in hostilities in the Middle East. And on Wall Street, stocks remain mixed. The Dow is down about 28 points, while the Nasdaq is up 103 points, and the S&P better by 24. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Hi, I'm Kirk Cameron. Is health insurance eating up your budget for 2026? If you're looking for ways to better steward your finances, consider this. Christian Healthcare Ministries is a health insurance alternative at half the cost. As a ministry, CHM allows you to share the burden of medical bills with other believers. Join CHM today by visiting chministries.org/wellness. That's chministries.org/wellness.
Maybe this is you too. There is enormous frustration right now with healthcare costs. It's amazing. Healthcare costs for families in the last 20 years have almost tripled, and it just keeps getting worse. All this to say, this is why MediShare is so in demand right now. People are looking for alternatives, and MediShare is proven. And yeah, you could save thousands of dollars a year and actually like it more. Here's the number. They're easy to talk to. 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34.
This hour of News Talk STL brought to you by Window World of St. Louis. For replacement windows, doors, and siding, call 800-GET-WINDOWS. That's 800-GET-WINDOWS. From the Michaels Flooring Outlet Weather Center.
I'm meteorologist Shane Scotch with your first alert forecast. We're going to be tracking afternoon highs back towards the upper 80s, so a little bit warmer this afternoon, partly sunny. Most of us looking completely dry. Then into Friday, some isolated chances of some showers going to be possible from the St. Louis metropolitan area, looking at 20%. As you head your way a little bit further to the southwest, that's where those chances slightly look to increase. High of 80 degrees, dropping humidity. Into Saturday, going to be looking at a few isolated chances of showers once again, mostly dry across much of the region. High of 82 degrees. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Shane Scotch.
Vic Porcelli.
Come on, you're Italian. You understand.
Every day is a busy day all of a sudden.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Tough and smart, and I love Italian, so, he's definitely Italian.
At least I have this show to come and talk about it and let some stuff up.
What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today?
The Vic Porcelli Show.
Hour number 2.
What was that? Your voice changing, huh? You finally got to that point.
Just going through puberty.
Okay.
So this is my high voice. Wait till my voice gets really deep, right? It's going to be sexy.
Barter Cohen.
I'm pretty sure that Ken and I have talked at length for many years about why do our enemies put medicine into pills that we take. And I know it's extreme, Ken, but what if we really were at a military war with China and they put poison in the pills?
Yeah. Not only that, but we'd have to immediately reject anything that they sent us.
Why don't we make it here?
Yes.
Why don't we make our medication here? Is it that hard? Is it that expensive?
I don't know.
God. So
I think they're trying at this point.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Kenneth Rapoza from the Coalition for a Prosperous America is going to join us about just that subject. Porcelli's Deli is coming up at 10:25. Stupidest topic. My visit at the hospital yesterday.
It's not stupid.
Well, the visit wasn't stupid, but saying, hey, want to hear about my visit to the hospital? That sounds pretty stupid.
Oh.
Let's talk to Nate. Let's talk to Nate Lucas. The communications director for U.S. Representative Eric Burlison.
How much has changed in this free country since 9/11? Now, I'm getting ready to go get touched by a TSA agent. It's the most action I've gotten in years.
Good morning, Nate Lucas. How are you?
Vic and Ken, how are you? What's up?
How you doing, Nate?
We're good. Nate is the communications director for U.S. Representative Eric Burlison. Now, Nate, I know there's got to be times in the day, maybe early evening or some point, where you guys go out and maybe have a drink or something or a coffee or whatever and talk about the idiots in politics, right? So this guy, James Tallarico in Texas, he wants people to stop eating meat.
We have, I think, heard more and more issues of animal welfare. I think not just because it's the right thing to do and the moral thing to do, but also it's, as all of you know, necessary to fight climate change. It is now existential that we try to reduce our meat consumption and that we try to respect animals in all aspects of society. And so I am proud to say that our campaign has officially become a non-meat campaign. So we are only buying vegan products from our local vegan businesses. Some of you may know Big Nona's. They were little Nona's, and then they opened up brick and mortar, so another Big Nona's. But we just got our pizza from there today. And so the point is that I think all of us, not just policymakers, but everyone has to take personal responsibility in this effort.
So, Nate, first of all, even the ones who were talking about the climate change have admitted that it wasn't real and don't worry about it anymore. And that's the first thing. The second of all, really? Beef in Texas?
Texas.
I mean, I'm sorry, but that is just hilarious. That should be like a Saturday Night Live routine.
I just want to announce that our entire campaign has, we are no longer eating meat. If you are found eating meat, you will be, well, we don't use bullets either because we don't believe in the Second Amendment, so we'll shoot you with a rubber bullet if you eat anything that is meat. I mean, what a soy boy. Holy smokes. I don't know what it is in Texas, but every time they run a Democrat, it's either like Beto O'Rourke, because he's a beta male, or James Tallarico, because this guy has consumed more soy than humanly thought was possible. So, yeah, good luck working on that campaign. I guess if you like tofu and grass, go for it, honey.
You know what? I can't believe you brought up Beto O'Rourke, because I was watching Tallarico say these comments on TV, and the first thing that popped into my head, remember Beto? Hell yeah, we're going to take away your AR-15. You're going to take away your, hell yeah. Remember? And I was like, no, you're in Texas, jackass, okay?
I'm just not buying the whole, I realize that a lot of people have left their blue states and moved to places, Texas being one of them. A lot of corporations have moved their headquarters to more tax-friendly states like Texas. And in doing so, that has invaded sort of red states. And certainly there's always this threat that if Republicans were ever to lose the stranglehold of Texas, it would really flip the electoral map. But I guess I'm just a skeptic until I see something change. I know that polls have grown closer. I would argue that some of those races include individuals that, need to go in the Republican Party, and it's more of a byproduct of running weak, pathetic rhino men than it is, losing the stranglehold on what people want to see in a conservative leader. So I just don't think that these people have a chance. And in similar light of what happened on, I guess that was Tuesday night with the Rhino John Cornyn getting completely smoked by Ken Paxton. I think Ken Paxton will run away with the Senate seat over Soy Boy Tallarico.
Well, that's a great conversation for another day about MAGA being, some on the left are trying to start the narrative that MAGA is dead, but it looks like it's stronger than ever. But what I was going to refer to here is that in response to that clip that everybody keeps playing, we just played, Nate, he has a picture. Tallarico says, here's my response to not being a meat eater. He's got in his mouth this giant leg of some sort, like he's biting down on it. My thing is, I want to see the video, dude, because all you did was put that thing up to your face, took a picture, and then probably threw it away.
So one thing I always sort of get when I get riled up on this show, it's mostly because I'm tired of politicians trying to take away your individual freedoms. And as much as I'll joke on somebody who, doesn't want to eat meat in the namesake of climate change or whatever the hell he's talking about, like, dude, you do it. Good for you. Congratulations. You've reached the phase in life where you're a complete moron and you don't eat meat and all of that. You know what? Go run a lap. Take a bow. Do not dare try to then imply in any way, shape, or form that I need to follow in your footsteps in for climate change to not eat red meat. Just shut the hell up. It's so many of these corporations. I had to laugh flying home from St. Louis and on one of the airliners, and they're on their little stupid paper cup they give out. It's, we've gone bamboo. We're giving you a bamboo cup. Meanwhile, we're going 750 miles at 39,000 feet, burning God knows how much of jet fuel. And so they're applauding this change to bamboo cups while we blast through the air. I mean, just at some point, just shut the hell up. Stop virtue signaling to me.
We're talking to Nate Lucas, who is the communications director for U.S. Representative Eric Burlison. We love getting you wound up, Nate, so let's wind you up a little more. Same topic, James Tallarico, he doesn't like the American flag.
I often think when reclaiming symbols, I think about the American flag. I think the Confederate flag is a symbol of treason and terrorism, but the American flag is such a complicated symbol for most of us, and in many ways, like Jesus, like the cross, it's been co-opted and in some ways its true meaning has been betrayed.
Nate?
Well, it really just gets to the common denominator of the left, the modern day left, and that is that they hate America. There was an article, I think it was an opinion piece in the New York Times a few years back on 4th of July, talking about how seeing American flags wave was a triggering point for them. And it just gets to the root of really everything that they stand for, which is anti-American. And I'll tell you, when we come on to the summer holidays and Memorial Day, of course, last Monday, it always reminds me of the sacrifice that people made so that these idiots could at least have their say. They could at least speak their mind. And thank God that they can. Because without these American heroes that sacrificed their lives in some cases and went to war for our freedoms, they wouldn't be able to out themselves as complete jackasses. But they get to, and God bless them. But, this country is built on independence and individual freedoms and your constitutional rights. And yet here these people look at that flag and they see something else. They see something like slavery. They see something like, certain individuals or groups that have been demonized by big capital corporate greed and never getting a chance to get ahead in life. Meanwhile, look at how much this country, look at how much every single taxpayer in America pays so that a lot of people can either have food stamps or go to public school or take public transportation or all of the free crap that we have to pay for. And you know what? I'm on the way other end of this. While I think that those services are all good and dandy and they should be meant for like the truly needy or whatever, I'm so sick and tired of paying my own taxpayer money for these assholes to sit home, not work, and just lick off the tit of the government. It's beyond pissing me off, and I think it's time that Republicans stand up and do something about it, because they all campaign on cutting these services until they get in and they feel the political pressure. So I think our country is too generous with what they dish out, and the fact that the Democrats only want to sit there and ask for more while they just tear apart the American culture is just disgraceful to me.
All right, now listen here, all right, young Nathan Lucas. We do have one rule and one rule only on the show.
Don't you cuss on this here radio.
You got it, pal?
Okay.
I know. I'm like in the gray area.
No, it's fine. So listen, these people who don't like the American flag, Americans who don't like the American flag, they don't even respect that it's a symbol of our country and guys died for that. Well, I wonder how they feel about the ISIS flag or the Iran flag. Those are okay?
Yeah, they'll look at it, Nate, and they'll say, well, they're just celebrating their heritage.
Cutting people's heads off.
Yeah, but that's their heritage, so leave it alone.
God,
Stop.
it's all right.
Shut up.
Well, this is why they drape themselves in a Pakistani flag, or the best is when you see like a LGBTQIA plus parade and they have Pakistani flags flying all over the place, and you just want to remind them, you know that being gay is punishable by stoning, I believe, in Pakistan still.
Yeah.
But that's just how misguided these folks are. I don't know. When I see the American flag, it reminds me of a country that's still worth defending, a beautiful country, and maybe they just need to get out and touch grass a little bit more, because they're certainly not experiencing the beauty that America has built within it.
You know what I love is the contrast when people like this
MMIWG2SLGBTQQIA+.
wear that stupid scarf that they have, that thing. I don't know. I don't even want to know the name of it. I don't care.
All right, let's move on. We're talking to Nate Lucas, Communications Director for U.S. Representative Eric Burlison. Now, this is one of those stories, Nate, that appeared and now has disappeared. The missing scientists and doctors who have left their homes with their keys and their wallets on the kitchen table, and they're gone. Is there any progress on it? Do you guys still talk about it?
Oh, Vic, you mean like following up on things that are in the news cycle that Congress leeches onto for
Something
like
like
24 to 48 hours, and then everyone goes home for recess and forgets all about it?
Something
like
like
those
that.
sorts of things?
Yeah. You know what's funny?
Well, add it to the long list of the comedic joke that Congress plays on the American people, which is, we are here fighting on behalf of you, only to make sure that we get home for Memorial Day weekend and forget about all the work that we've tried to do for you.
And it's interesting.
No, there is no update. I mean, I'm sorry. I just don't have an update.
That's fine. That's fine.
Sort of being facetious, but at the same time, I think I've said this, but I think it's time for, like, maybe the FBI director to hold a press conference and give some updates on a lot of different things regarding investigations, whether that's Antifa, whether that's missing scientists. There's a whole litany of things that I believe that the FBI director should be providing an update on. And I don't know. I haven't heard a whole lot from Cash.
Everything makes sense once you let time play out a little bit. One of those scientists or doctors or whatever she was working on anti-gravity research, right? And now in the last couple of days, they're talking about building a civilization on the moon, right?
Yeah.
Or at least industrial stuff on the moon.
I love that.
Guess what? There's no gravity on the moon. So let's get a scientist to do not, anti-gravity, and then let's kill her.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I had any answers to tell you. I don't. The emerging advanced technologies are something that I've really found fascinating, something that I really had no knowledge about prior to taking this position. But because of our interest in UAP and these missing scientists and just the various things that we've gotten into with this subcommittee as far as energy goes, it's just I think there's a lot out there, and I don't know why we're not being told everything that our country's capable of doing.
Well, I don't know. I just, now somebody said that they have, like, I'm going to use this word even though I hate it, remains of alien life. Do you ever wonder, Nate? I mean, you're young and you think better than I do because you're young and you got a young brain. But why do you think the government was so secretive about UFOs and even possibly aliens?
So that's a fascinating question. I would suggest that while perhaps our government is aware of these things, I would actually look deeper into the private-public sector partnerships. So that's why in the last few weeks we've gone public with a couple of letters we've written to MIT Lincoln Labs. Yesterday, if you go to Defense Scoop, if you look at Rep. Eric Burlison's Twitter page or X page, there's a letter that we sent out to MITRE Corporation. And I honestly think, and this, I don't want to speak out of turn here, but I believe the congressman believes this too, and he's seen a lot more than what I have. But some of these secrets that allegedly the government holds back from the American people isn't because they don't want to release it to the American people. It's because they don't know. And so it would genuinely be concerning if you had, say, privately funded contractors that have relationships with the government that are getting taxpayer money, but they're withholding information from the government. Therefore, the government doesn't know, and so the American people can't know. And then when the government is asked about these things, they're sort of caught in this wedge between, well, we'd love to tell you what it is, but we actually don't know. And that's sometimes, ignorance is bliss. Like they might actually not know. And I think that's why it's imperative to get to the bottom of what these private-public partnerships, what these companies know, what maybe they've been told by government officials to hold on to destroy, all of those things. And I think that's probably a smart lane to sort of get through in order to then determine whether or not if the government is even aware of some of this stuff that is being alleged.
Well, you guys talking about this reminded me of a film called Chain Reaction from 1996 with Keanu Reeves and Morgan Freeman.
What's it called?
Chain Reaction. And it has to do with the power that goes in is less than the power that comes out. And they finally figured it out. And the night they figured it out, they achieved their goal. They were all murdered. And I mean, it's really an interesting film. But I'll tell you what, life imitating art again.
Capricorn 1. Do you remember the movie Capricorn 1?
Yeah.
That the moon launch was faked and it was a movie set, and then they started killing the so-called astronauts so they wouldn't tell the story.
Right.
I mean, these conspiracy films are great because, conspiracy is real life, guys. All right, listen, Nate.
Just never underestimate the ability for the government to be as underwhelming as possible.
Yes.
So a lot of times we get this idea that because it's the government and they're the all-knowing function of our society, I can tell you that it's quite actually the opposite. I mean, we're not dealing with the most impressive people that represent us up here. and I see it every day.
I love conspiracies, as most people know, and you and the representative had a nice conversation about the JFK assassination that we don't have time for right now, Nate, but let's carve out some time for next Thursday to talk about that stuff. You okay with that?
Would love to. Yeah, people should check that podcast out. I hate to plug it on, of course, News Talk, but Fresh Freedom with Jefferson Morley. He's been studying this topic for several decades, and I don't know. It was a fascinating hour-long conversation. I would encourage people to go tune in.
Why don't you repost it? I'll repost it so people see it. And then next week we'll discuss it, Nate. Thanks so much, buddy. Thanks for being with us.
All right. Thank you.
See you, brother.
Nate Lucas, Communications Director for U.S. Representative Eric Burlison. That's the conspiracy of all conspiracies, isn't it?
It really is, yeah. That's, I think, where conspiracy theory came out, right? The first time?
You think? I never thought of that, Ken. That's a fascinating question right there.
Just like, it's where they said, conspiracy theory. What's that? What did you say? A conspiracy theory?
What's that word? All right. When we get back, Porcelli's Deli, all about my little trip to the hospital yesterday.
All right.
On 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
Watch us on our live stream using Rumble, Facebook, and Twitter.
Hey, Vic and Ken. Good to see you, dadgummit.
The Vic Porcelli Show. You're listening to The Vic Porcelli Show on NewstalkSTL.
Hey, it's Susie Moore for Window World. Did you know that in just over the last 20 years, Window World of St. Louis has improved the look and thermal efficiency for over 80,000 customers in St. Louis? Plus, Window World windows come with a lifetime warranty that covers all parts, glass breakage, and labor. And now, Window World is offering 36 months same-as-cash financing with approved credit. Call them today at 800-GET-WINDOWS for a free in-home, no-pressure estimate. That's Window World at 800-GET-WINDOWS. They're the preferred window of the St. Louis Blues.
Yo, this is Vic. Vic for Vets is proudly honoring our veterans. Every Wednesday at 11:05, you'll hear about that day's honoree and their incredible service to our country.
Hi, it's Ken. You want to nominate a veteran? Send their name, service information, and story to me, Ken, at NewstalkSTL.com.
Brought to you by Heroes Care, Alamo Military Collectibles, Gemini Wealth Group, Michael's Funeral Home, and Freddie's Market.
Together, let's celebrate the heroes in our community, Vic for Vets, where honor meets gratitude.
Hi, this is St. Louis County Councilman Mark Harder reminding you to check out my new show this weekend.
The St. Louis County Insider with Councilman Mark Harder.
That's me. Every Sunday evening at 5, we will explore with you behind-the-scenes stories and information that you won't hear anywhere else. Plus, we talk to decision makers and influencers that have impact on what's going on in St. Louis County and beyond.
The St. Louis County Insider with Councilman Mark Harder.
I'll talk to you Sunday night at 5, only on News Talk STL.
License number GL250000615.
Hey, Dad, what causes drains to clog?
Grease, hair, soap scum, and tree roots.
Tree roots?
This town has old pipes and big trees. They find each other.
They grow inside pipes?
They bust into pipes.
Whoa.
Once they're in, the water stops flowing.
Can we fix it?
The big green grasser machine can fix any clog.
Green is always grasser at grasserhomeservices.com.
News Talk STL. News Talk STL. Welcome to Porcelli's Deli.
Yes, very good. I'll have a Bloody Mary and a steak sandwich and a steak sandwich, please.
Come on, go over here.
Ketchup. Where's the ketchup at?
I bet the Chinese food here is terrible.
With Vic Porcelli.
He's a very strange young man.
He's an idiot.
Porcelli's Deli is moved to 1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Come on in. We're open. Have a seat. Vic will tell you a story.
All right, welcome to Porcelli's Deli. Come on in. Have a seat. We'll warm up the coffee. Ken's in the kitchen on the line saying, throw a bull in the ring and don't cry about it. Don't cry about it. That's a hamburger with no onions.
I know.
All right, so I have to give you a little background. I had to go to the hospital yesterday to get a CT, which I don't even know what CT stands for. You want to know the truth? But they put you in that
centrifuge, trauma.
No,
I don't know. I have no idea.
So, and here, let's go back a little bit. I had that thing that you guys know about, I hope, the surgery I had to get in 2017.
Computed pornography.
Tomography?
They're
making it up now.
No, tomography.
Oh, tomography.
Computed tomography. CT.
Over my head. So when I had my procedure, I had a pheochromocytoma growing inside of me. I had to get it taken out. It grew out of my adrenal gland, and it was crushing my kidney, crushing my liver. And they had to take out my adrenal gland. So I have no adrenal gland on my right side of my body. So now I don't have the urge to jump out of airplanes anymore, which I used to do all the time. And so about a year ago, maybe. See, this is why people just get, I don't know, they don't want to go to the hospital. They don't want to talk to people, because I hate people. You already know that. So I had to get this scan. I guess it was a CT type of scan or a ultrasound or something, or MRI. And that they had to take my blood and see my creatinine levels. And they came back with the results of my creatinine levels, and it was 0.1 too low. My or too high, whatever it was, but it was only 0.1.
Yeah.
So they said, sorry, we can't do it today because your creatinine levels are just too high or too low, whatever it was. So they bring in a counselor for me. Well, we're so sorry that we can't do this, like I just lost my mother or something. You know what I mean? I was like, what are you talking about? It's fine. We'll do it another day or never, you know?
Yeah.
Because they do that because that scan, they were going to inject me with dye, contrast they call it, and then the dye helps them see that, except that can kill your kidneys if your kidneys are weak.
Mm.
And the lady who brought me in from the main waiting room that day, a year ago, I'm sorry, I'm going to say it, she was a great big bitch, okay? She'd been a nurse for too long. She's jaded. She needs to find something else to do because she has no bedside manner whatsoever.
Yeah.
Right? So, fast forward to yesterday. I had to get a CT scan. Sitting in the lobby. First of all, MOBAP. Have you ever been to MOBAP?
Not for medical things.
It's like an escape room trying to get in and out of there.
Okay.
You know? Trying to find the main entrance, you know, and then you find the main entrance, and where do I park? So I went into the garage, and I'm like, oh, I'll just get a spot right here. Oh, no, that's full. And then I went out to the top floor almost, and finally got a spot far away from the elevators. And I was there too early because I just wanted to get there on time. So what do? I take a little nap, and I fall asleep for a little bit. And I woke up, and I was like, oh, my God, I got to go. So I closed the door. I got out of the car, closed the door. And then, of course, this always happens. All the spots right next to the elevators were open now. Not when I was looking for one, but now I'm like, well, I'm not going to do it now. So I go into the waiting room, and you can go up to the lady and tell her you're here for a CT, and then she'll ask you your name and your social security number and all that stuff. And the lady who was the person you talked to looked like a sad Otis Day from Otis Day and the Nights from Animal House. She didn't have that kind of warm, friendly aura to her. So you can go to a kiosk and do it yourself. So that's what I did. I sat down. I punched in my name, first name, last name, date of birth, social security number, blah, blah, blah. And then I sit down. Very quick time. Very, very quick time. I'm waiting to get called, and this really nice, friendly, cute little nurse comes up, and she's like, I'm looking for Mr. Jones. I was like, damn it. Go ahead. And then they call my name. Guess who called my name? The same lady from a year ago. Comes in like a linebacker. Porcelli, where's Porcelli? Let's go. Drop and give me 20. Let's go. She's not nice, Ken. She's not nice at all. So it brought me in this room. Me and this older lady was there. And me and the older lady walked in the same time, and we both had to get a CT. So we're sitting there. First of all, after that mean nurse left, I turned to the lady to my right, and I said, she's not quite pleasant, is she? And she just smiled. This one was like, yeah, I hate her. She sucks. She's rude. And blah, blah, blah. So, all right, so there's two components here. Lady sitting to my right, who was already there when I got there, clearly had a cancer of some kind because she had, they cover their head.
Oh, yeah.
So it was clear that she had cancer. So I started talking to her about the whole story I told you about a year ago with that lady and how mean she was and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Then she was asking me about the procedure. And I don't know if this lady wanted to just sit there peacefully for 10 minutes, but I wasn't going to let that happen because I can't keep my mouth shut.
Yeah.
And we talked and we laughed. And then the older lady comes to sit next to me on my left, and she's got the intravenous thing connected to her hand, Now I'm saying to myself, we're both there for a CT. What the hell's going on here? I said, what is that? She goes, oh, that's where they're going to put the dye. I said, I'm not getting any dye, So, of course, I called my wife. No dye, right? She goes, no, it's not supposed to be dye. Calm down. And it wasn't.
Oh.
So, I don't know. Am I the medical one in my family? No, I'm not.
No.
So.
But it's good that you can check with her.
Absolutely. She hates that she's married to me, but I love that I'm married to her,
She doesn't hate that.
No, but, what I'm saying
I get
is,
what you're saying.
I'm the one that says, I show her my ass and says, that thing look infected? You know what I mean? And she's got to look at it, right? Do no harm. She's got to do it. So then, okay, then they call my name. And I talked to this lady with cancer for the entire time. Ken, my mouth never stopped moving the entire. I don't know if I was just a little nervous. And that was my way to get over the nerves.
I could see that, yeah.
Have you ever had a CT when they put you in the tube?
Well, no, but I do know you, and when you get nervous, truly nervous, I mean, because it takes a lot to get you nervous, I found. But when you are either really excited or nervous, you start talking a lot. You start moving.
So. Yeah, you're right.
You do.
So they called my name, and I said to the older one, I said, good luck with you. And then I wanted to be really nice and kind to the cancer lady. And I said, hey, good luck. It was great to talk to you. I hope you didn't mind me. She goes, no, it's good to have somebody to talk to. She was so sweet and so cute. So they take me into the room where the CT machine is. And Ken, it looks like you walked into the Starship Enterprise.
Yeah.
You know, all these big things and lights and everything. Now I'm getting more nervous, right?
Did they have the panic button?
That would have been nice. I didn't ask. What after I'm in the thing?
Yeah.
No, they didn't have any panic button for me. So, why'd you ask me that?
Because I think it was a CT scan that I had, and I had a button. She said, if you feel like you're getting claustrophobic or anything like that, then you can hit this button and it will pull you out real quick.
They didn't give me that option.
Wow, okay.
So I meet the guy in there. His name was Ray, nice guy. And he goes, okay. He goes, do you have a necklace on? And I was like, no. I said, what? I have a ring on. Is this going to tear my finger off? You know, because like the MRIs can tear your finger right off if you have a ring on.
Yeah.
He goes, no. It's just nothing blocking your chest. I was all right. So should I empty my pockets? He's like, no. Just put your phone here and lay down.
Are you sure? That's where you.
I wanted to follow all directions.
Right.
So he says, okay, here's what's going to happen. So we're going to put you in there, and then a recorded voice. She goes, put you there, and it's going to talk to you first, and I'm going to talk to you second. I'm like, open the pod bay doors, Hal. I'm sorry, Dave.
Right.
I can't do
that.
So I go in, and the recorded lady says, please breathe in. So I breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Twice she made me do that. And then the guy, his voice comes out of the same speaker. Hey, can you hear me okay? I'm like, yeah, copy. And he goes, all right, so breathe in again, breathe out. Third time, breathe in, hold it, hold your breath. I'm like, oh my God. So I hold my breath, and then, Ken, this thing spins around so fast. You know, it just spins and spins and spins. And I'm like, I'm in the dryer. I felt like I was in the dryer, you know?
Yeah.
And it stopped, and they moved me back out. He goes, all right, you're done, get out. And I was like, wow, that was quick. That was good, you know? And that was it. That was as far as the procedure goes. That was it. Of course, I have to make a story about everything. My wife says I could go to Quick Trip just to get like smokes and sodas, and I'll come in and I'll go, so she knows there's a story coming.
Here we go.
That happened at the Quick Trip. And I told her the whole story. And then the old lady was there when I was ready to leave, and I said, hey, good luck to you. And then the cancer lady, I touched her arm and her hand, and I said, hey, good luck. I'll be thinking about you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, she's got to know that somebody's thinking about her, even if nobody's told her.
Oh, yeah.
Even if people who are thinking about her haven't told her.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So I just wanted, and she was like, thanks. And I said, I'm sorry I talked your ear off. She goes, no, it was great company. So there you go. So even when I'm nervous, I talk. But some people, you know, they don't mind it. Ken hates it. Ken hates when I talk.
I love it.
Thanks, Ken.
It's fun.
That's all the time we have for Porcelli's Deli on 1019 94.1. This is ER, right?
Yeah.
ER, yeah. You know they don't even call it ER anymore?
What do they call it?
ED.
Well, that's another familiar.
Emergency division or something. No, it's not that.
That's what it is.
No. Even guys with erectile dysfunction can go to the ER.
Oh, okay.
So 1019 94.1 News Talk STL. Here in America, celebrating our semi-quincentennial, and we're celebrating our Quinn anniversary.
Yes.
5 years.
5.
On July 19th. Done.
I'd like an omelet, plain, and a chicken salad sandwich on wheat toast. No mayonnaise, no butter, no lettuce, and a cup of coffee.
And number 2, chicken salad sandwich. All the butter, the lettuce, the mayonnaise, and a cup of coffee. Anything else?
Yeah, now all you have to do is hold the chicken, bring me the toast, give me a check for the chicken salad sandwich, and you haven't broken any rules.
You want me to hold the chicken, huh?
I want you to hold it between your knees.
The Vic Porcelli Show. Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL. If you have a phone, you have a radio.
Wherever I'm at, home, car, wherever.
Download the all-new News Talk STL app.
If you have a phone, you have a radio. Just the convenience on the phone. Streaming live on the mobile app.
Love the new app.
And listen anytime.
Everywhere.
Anywhere.
Chris Arps here, and after Becky and I leave church on Sunday, we head down the street to Capriotti's to grab a classic meatball sub. I love Capriotti's, and you will too. Visit Capriotti's now at 2 locations on Manchester, McKnight, and Rock Hill, and now in Creve Coeur on Olive, just 1 mile west of 270.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum-sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Have you noticed mattress stores are dramatic? Final clearance, last chance, going out of business every single weekend. Relax. Snooze Mattress and Wellness is locally owned, family owned, and we don't do fake urgency. We use advanced sleep technology trusted by NASA and the Mayo Clinic to fit you to the right mattress, based on your body, not a sales quote. No gimmicks, no games, just better sleep. Snooze Mattress and Wellness. Finally, a mattress store you'll love.
This year, America turns 250, and News Talk STL is celebrating our nation's semi-quincentennial all year long. News Talk STL, #1 for live and local Soros-free talk, with proud supporters of our 250th birthday celebration, Duchesne High School, Bula Yomo, and Mobile Magic Auto Body. 250 years strong, and we're just getting started. 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL.
Fox News commentary with Laura Ingraham, next.
My doctor said I could use something called a biosimilar. Then she told me what it is.
A biosimilar is a type of biologic medication. Just like brand name drugs have generic versions, original biologics can have biosimilars.
So I asked what the benefits are and if they work the same.
Biosimilars have the same safety, effectiveness, and quality as the original biologic. They also offer more medication options at potentially more competitive prices.
My doctor said I could learn more at fda.gov/biosimilars.
Laura Ingraham says she knows why Kamala lost to Trump.
It's because she was terrible. Okay, that's why they didn't put her out on TV more. That's why they didn't want to give her any real issues to handle, except the border, which obviously didn't work out. So no wonder they didn't want to release this autopsy. It was embarrassing. Now, Kamala got smoked, not just because of her annoying cackle, but of course because of the administration. Its policies failed across the board. The economic, the human, the cultural toll was devastating. 25 million illegals, countless terrorists and vicious felons were allowed in, an endless flow of deadly drugs. Of course, the extended pandemic lockdowns, disaster, runaway inflation from all the additional COVID spending. Now, the Afghanistan pullout, I mean, we could do a whole show just on Biden's failures.
For more commentary like this, go to foxnewspodcast.com.
Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
Another song I thought was the greatest song ever when I first heard it.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's so crazy when you hear a song that's brand new. My God, this is the greatest song. And then 10 years later, and then 20 years later, what song was that?
What was this song?
All right, so I'll say this again. It'll be the third time I've said it today, but I'm not lying. That since this show's beginning, Ken and I have said why do we rely on China to put medicine in our pills? Why do we do that? In case there's a war and they want to, kill us.
Things go sideways.
Things go sideways. They're going to put poison in the pills and we're all going to die. That's a little extreme, but we shouldn't have the...
We'd probably cut off the supply before then.
Yeah, but we shouldn't have our enemies doing it to begin with. Why don't we make it here? That's what I've been saying for 5 years.
Yeah.
So let's talk to Kenneth Rapoza, who is works for the Coalition for a Prosperous America. Anything I say there not true? First of all, how are you, Kenneth? Hi, good morning.
Hey, I'm doing well. No, nothing you said there is not true. We do rely on China, and if we don't rely on China, then we rely on India, which also relies on China. So,
oh my God.
Right.
Why don't we build them? Why don't we make them here? Is it that expensive? What's the problem?
Well, look, we make the branded drugs here, right? So the big branded drugs, the Ozempics, right? That stuff is made here because that's where all the money is. But most Americans aren't taking branded drugs every day. They're taking the generic drugs. So there's the generic drugs that when Capitol Hill worries about pharmaceuticals, as you know, there's a tariff investigation into pharmaceuticals. I think the branded drug pharmaceutical tariffs kick in later this summer on some countries. And the generic drugs are the cheap ones, right? These are the ones that you're taking, people take every day for various causes and ailments. Or if you go into a hospital and you need, anesthesia and things like that are needed for surgery, basic stuff, everyday use. A lot of that comes from India and China. And that, again, these are pennies on the dollar products, and they're imperative, but a lot of the companies in the United States, they don't want to, they can't compete. It's not that they don't want to make it. They can't compete with the pricing power of India and China.
Yeah. So here's what really pisses me off, though, Kenneth, okay? I can't think of the heart medicine. What's for AFib? Eliquis? Is it Eliquis?
Yep, that sounds familiar. I see those commercials, yep.
So Eliquis costs a lot of money because it's a branded drug, like you're calling it a branded drug. So what they do is change the formula when their patent's going to run out. Other companies have a generic ready to go, made, ready to send to stores, and then Eliquis company, I'm sure it's Pfizer, changes one tiny little thing in the formula, and then they get their patent for another 10 years, and the generic never ends up coming out, and people can't afford it, and people die of AFib or heart attacks or whatever. I think that's kind of part of the problem.
Oh, God, there's so many problems in the whole pharmaceutical supply chain. I'm sure that's one of them. I have not heard that one spoken before, but I don't doubt you at all. These guys, the pharmaceutical industries, I don't know how well they're liked in the United States these days, right? But so I'm going to say that what you said is true. I don't doubt it. But there's so much to the industry in terms of how it works with middlemen, pharmacy benefit managers, how it works with insurance companies who decide what drugs are going to be allowed, right, on their platform, what drugs are going to get, that you take, that your insurance is going to pay for, right? So that means even if there's another drug that might be cheaper, your insurance might say, no, we don't want that one because of the relationship they have with the pharmacy benefit managers or the companies themselves. So, there's a lot of things to a lot of things to crack, right, to make it a more functioning system that's not as expensive. But not only that for consumers, right? But not only that, there's a lot of other things that need to take place to make it so that you have at least critical drugs, right? Critical medications like antibiotics, penicillins, amoxicillin. When we all had COVID and you probably had COVID pneumonia and you were probably given amoxicillin, and then 2 days later, like a miracle, if you were a relatively healthy person, you were cleared up. We have one lab in the United States that makes amoxicillin and only certain types of it. And these things are used all the time, very cheap drugs. So if you want to make that in the United States, a lot of different policies have to be put into place because companies aren't going to say, let's invest $1 million or $100 million or more in a new lab or to expand our lab or to buy new equipment when, China and India are going to, I'm just never going to match them on price.
So,
and then you're just glued to them. You're just glued to those markets, for critical drugs.
So while we were sleeping, the EU steps in, and now they're trying to get away from especially Asian countries making their drugs for the EU countries. We look a little slow on the uptake, don't we?
I would say really that the EU is following in the U.S.'s footsteps on this issue, right? So the EU has really been not a trendsetter, but a follower of the U.S. on, for lack of a better word, protecting its industries from Asia. And when I say Asia, again, it's China, led by China, but for the pharmaceutical market, it would also be India. And the main reason, and what you're mentioning is this legislation called this rule called the Critical Medicines Act in India, in Europe, whereas they're going to help local labs produce antibiotics like one I mentioned earlier, amoxicillin, for example, penicillins and things like that. Drugs very cheap drugs that are very necessary when you're sick. It's not Wegovy, GLP-1s, probably not super necessary unless you're obese and diabetic, right?
Yep.
In that case, okay. But if you're sick, don't really need a GLP-1. You might need amoxicillin. You might have blood pressure problems, need those things daily, and all that comes from India and China. So the European Union, what they're doing is they're going to create a whole bunch of policies to make it easier for companies to produce those critical drugs again in the United States. Not all drugs, because companies aren't going to produce every single drug that we import in the United States, but there's a list of critical drugs, and the European Union has their own lists, and we have our own lists of critical drugs that we want to make here. And again, as you mentioned at the beginning of the conversation, what happens if there's a situation where we're in a war footing with China? And they could easily just say, you know what, we're not going to send you, aspirin, we're not going to send you Tylenol, we're not going to send you stuff to help put people to sleep during surgery, to keep it in layman's terminology, right? They could technically do something like that because you're not producing much of it at home.
All right. I was talking to Kenneth Rapoza from the Coalition for a Prosperous America. So where exactly is the Critical Medicines Act now?
Okay, so that's a European policy that is in vigor. That is in the works. That is, the European Union will do whatever it is they're going to do, which is industrial policy. So they're going to subsidize companies to make it attractive for them to make these antibiotics in Europe. And this is, Europe is a little slow when it comes to regulation because it's a different system there. But wheels are in motion. That is going to happen. I think the biggest issue, right, with pharma, of course, you got the generic story. Americans don't want to pay a lot for drugs, especially if you're on them every single day. And most Americans, they're probably not going to care if their drugs are made in India and China, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Over at the end of the day, they're worried about price. They're worried about price, right? And not only are the consumers worried about price, but so are the buyers, the hospital chains, right? They're also worried about price because when you're spending $10 million on an item, which might be a whole bunch of surgical drugs, and you can get it for only $9 million, well, you saved $1 million. So those big companies are willing to. They're going to do that. They're going to save 2 cents on a pill if they can. They will do that. So what the U.S. government has to do for the generics and the critical drugs that the FDA has on their critical drug list is they have to have things like government purchasing programs where the VA says we're going to buy this particular antibiotic and we're only going to get it from these labs. Okay, you have to increase your capacity to make that drug. Okay, well, here's another program in the government to give you a maybe interest-free loan, for example. Those things have to happen to create that ecosystem. But I think the biggest issue really is beyond the whole idea of generic drugs, right? Which we do not have in the United States. We have producers. We have short supplies of a lot of these drugs, and some of the labs are questionable in India and China.
Okay.
But what's happening now is a lot of the branded drug guys and the innovators, they're moving to China. So forget India now. They're moving to China. So Eli Lilly, for example, they signed a deal at the beginning of the year with a company in China. I can't think of the name off the top of my head. They're in Shanghai based to work together to innovate and make new cancer drugs. Right.
Yeah.
So we're seeing, instead of of course, Eli Lilly does all this in the United States as well. Right. But we're seeing Western capital, Western pharma companies, Western biotech increasingly looking to China for new drugs, for innovation, to license Chinese-made drugs under their own American brand or their own European brand, even though it's a Chinese-made drug. And that's a situation that has really raised alarm bells in Belgium and Washington, because pharmaceutical and biotech is a huge industry in that in the West. It's like the auto industry. When you hear Washington complain about Chinese EVs, it's because they don't want that to put American cars out of business. And it's the same thing with biotech. They don't want China, who is a monster, to put a very important sector of the economy, not necessarily out of business, but where that capital is going to China instead of here.
All right. So here's my problem. Here's one of my problems is the drug companies. They run these commercials, which don't they cost a lot of money to run the advertising?
Yeah.
Don't they cost a lot of money for the production of the commercial?
Oh, absolutely.
Doesn't it cost a lot to hire the actors that are in it?
Every bit of it, yeah.
Do you think they just do that out of the goodness of their heart, or are they passing that along to us, right? And then every commercial says, ask your doctor if Eliquis is right for you. When I was young, if I asked my doctor if a certain drug was right for me, he'd tell me to shut up, sit down, and I'll tell you what's what and what you're taking.
Exactly right.
And the drug companies that are running away, I hate to sound like a bleeding heart liberal, but they're running away with all the money.
Yeah. And not only that, but check this out from listener Duke. Okay, we're on our stream right now. He says, if they stop making drug commercials, to Vic's point, and sponsoring shows, stadiums, and so forth, that would lower the cost of drugs, and then they can compete with other countries. Is any of that part of that true, do you think, Kenneth?
I don't know. I've never heard anyone say that. Honestly, if they actually stopped advertising on NBC and everywhere else, I don't even know if those channels would exist anymore. So
right.
I think the biggest lobbyists for pharmaceutical companies advertising is not the pharmaceutical companies themselves, but probably the broadcasters, right, who are saying, we'll give you as much as you want, just we'll give you a discount, whatever it is. I'm sure they get discounts even on the ads, because these are the ads that keep a lot of these networks in business.
Solvent, yeah. And how many times have you heard the words "brought to you by Pfizer"? I mean, on everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We used to
Pfizer would not. So in other words, if Capitol Hill was to say, we want you to be more transparent with your ad spend and see if you could put that money somewhere else, put into the pockets of consumers, Pfizer wouldn't even have to lobby against that bill. You would have NBC would lobby against that bill. So
good point.
Sons of bitches.
That would be my take on that.
Kenneth, they're all sons of bitches, every one of them.
Everyone.
All right. Kenneth Rapoza from Coalition for a Prosperous America. Thanks so much for being with us. There's got to be a solution to all the things that are in your great article. Where do we find that, by the way? Prosperous America's Kenneth Rapoza's article.
That would be, yes, find us at prosperousamerica.org. We're an organization that represents manufacturers in the United States.
All right, great. Kenneth, great to talk to you. Thank you so much for your time.
Anytime. Take care.
See you, Ken.
People who... So let's take a guy from 1950, right? Something happens to him, and he's in a coma or something for 50 years. He comes out of the coma, he's watching TV, and he's like, what the hell? The drugs commercials on TV now? Ask my doctor if it's right for me.
No,
what do I
doctor's
know?
supposed to tell me.
Yeah. I'm like, do you know what you're talking about? No, you don't. So shut up. I'll tell you what to take. Tony Kinnett's next.
What?
Columbo here from my friends at Bluff City Outdoors in Alton. The knowledgeable staff at Bluff City has served the St. Louis outdoor community for decades, and they can take care of all your bow hunting needs, all your trapping needs, all your fishing needs, and more. Plus, while you're there, you can schedule a trip with a local fishing guide and shoot in their archery range. Bluff City Outdoors is open 7 days a week, 1 mile east of Fast Eddie's at 2813 East Broadway in Alton. Follow them on Facebook and at bluffcityoutdoors.com.
Something big is happening in St. Louis County, and you're invited.
Join us for the grand reopening of the St. Louis County Central Committee's brand new headquarters, and it's an open house you don't want to miss.
Stop by Wednesday, June 3rd at 794 Gravois Bluffs for light appetizers, beverage, and a chance to meet your Central Committee members. Plus, Chris and I will be there live.
Join Tim and me and tour the new headquarters. That's Wednesday, June 3rd, 794 Gravois Bluffs.
Hey, it's Susie Moore. If new flooring makes you think hassle, think again, because Michael's Flooring is changing the game. For over 30 years, Michael's has been locally owned and trusted for quality, variety, and amazing service. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, laminate, luxury vinyl, or ceramic tile, their expert team makes installing new floors exciting, not stressful. That's why customers keep coming back. Visit Michael's Flooring at St. Peter's, Starting Prairie, Creve Coeur, or online at igotfloored.com. That's igotfloored.com.
KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Belfast, KNBS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 1019, 94.1, and always streaming at NewstalkSTL.com.
Breaking news at Town Hall. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. An egregious ceasefire violation. That's how the U.S. military is describing an Iranian airstrike on Kuwait. The kingdom reports coming under attack in the latest flare-up that threatened ongoing negotiations to end the war. Central Command says Kuwait intercepted missiles launched by Iran late Wednesday night. A new poll shed some light on which Democrats are popular with voters as their party looks ahead to the presidential race in 2028. Here's correspondent Laura Witters.
The new Emerson College survey finds former Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg leading with 18% support. During his remarks at the National Action Network conference last month, he hinted at a possible run for president. Now, he's followed by California Governor Gavin Newsom, who's at 16%. Newsom is term limited as governor. Other Democrats who may run, AOC, she's polling at 11% support. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro and former Vice President Kamala Harris tied at 10%. Laura Winters reporting.
More Americans sought unemployment benefits last week. Layoffs remain low despite economic uncertainty caused by the ongoing war with Iran. The number of uninsured Americans is on the rise in this country. More on that from correspondent Donna Warder.
According to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the number of uninsured grew by about 800,000 people in 2025, and the Congressional Budget Office estimates that 10 million more low-income Americans could lose their Medicaid coverage because of changes passed into law last year. The healthcare research nonprofit KFF says 5 million fewer people are expected to enroll in marketplace health programs in 2026 because of this year's expiration of Affordable Care Act subsidies, which had lowered premiums. The Trump administration has suggested that projected declines in coverage indicate a drop in fraudulent and ineligible enrollees. Donna Warder, Washington.
More on these stories at townhall.com.
If you want unlimited talk, text, and data on a super fast network, Big Wireless will sell it to you right now for as little as $70 a month. Or you can buy it from Pure Talk for half of that. I'm talking about unlimited talk, text, and data for just $34.99 a month. But wait, there's more. When you switch to Pure Talk, you'll be switching to an American wireless company that's committed to keeping 100% of its customer service in this country. I appreciate that. In fact, that's why I switched. I also appreciate the way they support our vets and our skilled workforce. Dial pound 250, say micro, and get unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data for just $34.99 a month. That's pound 250 micro. Stop paying twice what you need to pay for the service you want and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
This hour of News Talk STL is brought to you by Stifel, serving investors for over 130 years. Contact your Stifel financial advisor at stifel.com. That's STIFEL.com.
Is your retirement income at risk if you or your spouse needs nursing home or in-home care? Hi, I'm Eric Robert, Director of Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money, Saturday mornings at 9 on News Talk STL 1019. The cost of long-term care is one of the biggest risks in retirement planning. For many retirees, a single nursing home stay can cause a significant reduction in assets that can permanently reduce your retirement income. Fortunately, there are affordable and flexible options available today that can help you manage the cost of long-term care. Our team can help you address the risks relevant to your retirement, including long-term care. To schedule your free retirement plan consultation, go to clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
Hey, it's Chris Arps. Becky and I recently discovered a restaurant that's quickly become one of our go-to restaurants, Timothy's in Creve Coeur. Led by executive chef Will Mabry, Timothy's serves contemporary American cuisine with a touch of Southern charm. Dishes like pastrami, smoked lamb, and shrimp and grits. My wife absolutely loved the lobster pot pie, and everything we've tried has been incredible. Amazing house-made desserts and over 500 wines to choose from. Enjoy dinner 7 nights a week, plus lunch, brunch, and private events. Timothy's in Creve Coeur at 12710 Olive Boulevard or online at timothysstl.com.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by the Trolley Stop Bakery, the official bakery of the Vic Porcelli Show. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show.
For a 3-hour tour, a 3-hour tour. The weather started getting rough.
We squeeze in a dry hump day under partly sunny skies.
From New Jersey to Baldwin, Missouri, to behind the microphone, taking the whoosh to the radical left and the putrid swamp. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show. Here he is, Vic Porcelli.
All right, hour number 3 of our 3-hour tour. So everybody knows Joey V, right?
Yeah.
Joey V is like he's a regular producer of the afternoon show, isn't he, with Chris and Tim?
Correct, and he does some weekend stuff with Todd, and he's also the digital person here.
How far ahead of me do you want to get?
I don't know.
Just let me
Ken, Thunder Stealer.
I was going to say all that stuff, but Ken had to say it. So it's his birthday coming up.
Yeah.
Or today, maybe. And when it's your birthday here at this place, Michelle makes something that you like and brings it in, and we all have a nice treat for your birthday.
She'll even ask you, what do you like?
Oh, yeah. I was on a brownie kick for a couple of years, and then she made those white almond bars or whatever they are, the balls. And so that's what I picked now. Anyway, so Joe picked Pop-Tarts because he's a goon.
Joey did, yeah.
Right? Because he's a 12-year-old goon. And I don't remember if I like Pop-Tarts or not. I don't think I do.
Oh, I think you would. They're really good.
So this is chocolatey fudge something, and I'm going to try it raw.
And it's very Joey.
It's very Joey.
Yeah, that's
it's in his lunchbox.
Sure.
Right?
Why not? I thought it was great. I was like, yeah, there you go.
All right. Well, I'm going to take a bite during Tony's intro, and then I'll give you my findings.
What's your name? What is your name? Tony!
What a bunch of emasculated politicians.
Tony.
Tony Kinnett.
Gun person. That's a new one. I'm going to keep an eye out for any Mossberg 500s with legs.
Oh, God, Tony,
live. Nobody liked Vic. That's why I'm honored to be here.
Daily Signal national correspondent Tony Kinnett. I'm here to report I don't like Pop-Tarts at all.
Oh, shut up.
I just took a bite.
They're awesome.
Hey, why don't you take the other half then?
I don't eat while we're on the air.
You know what?
Butter on it, gentlemen.
No.
Butter on the Pop-Tart, and then you just go sit in the corner because you've already made one bad decision. So what's 2 or 3?
Right.
So let's all sing together. Have you ever put butter on a Pop-Tart? It's so friggin' good. That's Peter and Quagmire.
Peter Griffin from Quahog.
Something.
Hey, Peter, you got to stop singing about Pop-Tarts.
He does a pretty good.
That
what's that guy's
bad.
name? He was on Seinfeld.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name. That's pretty good, Tony. I'll give you credit for that, but I do a better Peter Griffin, and we'll leave it at that. Okay?
Yeah, we'll leave it at that. That's fair. And it's Patrick Warburton, by the way.
Patrick Warburton, who was on Seinfeld, played Elaine's boyfriend.
No, I don't need a book. I'm just going to stare at the back of this chair.
He's so good. Oh, my God.
You two should do a little skit with you being what's his name?
Hey, Brian, want to go to live on a farm where you can play with all the other dogs? No. All right. So how are you, Tony?
I'm doing all right. Oh, sorry, that's the last one, I promise. Yeah.
Giggity. Okay.
Giggity.
I'm doing all right, gentlemen. It's a fine Thursday. It's finally sunny here, and Joe Biden has decided to let us know that Joe Biden's maybe totally not doing as well as we were all told he was doing. So it's great. It's great.
You know what? That story pisses me off so badly because Jill Biden, Dr. Jill Biden.
That's what they said on today's show. Dr. Jill Biden knows.
And Oprah said she was it Oprah or Whoopi Goldberg that says she's a great doctor, a great surgeon or something?
Yeah, I think it was Whoopi.
Anyway, so went away, flew away. Joe. So Joe's fine. We can't keep up with. Hey, don't laugh at it all. That's elderly abuse. What you're doing right there, Kenneth. Cut it out.
I know. That's why I'm doing it.
Hey. Joe's fine, and then after so in case you don't know, during the debate with President Trump, not you, Tony, but during the debate with President Trump, Jill thought Joe was having a stroke.
That's what she says, yeah.
During the debate.
Yeah.
So what do you do when somebody that you think might be having a stroke, what do? You bring them to another event in a room full of people, right? Instead of sending them to the hospital.
Yeah.
Also, I just to throw this out there, because Tulsi Gabbard was also hit with a lot of grief because she said, "Look, I'm going to resign my position." She's still in the role until the end of June because my husband has advanced bone cancer. It's a rare kind, and everyone went after her and said, "Oh, it has to be something else." No, I'm sorry. That's how you're supposed to act. If your spouse you think is having a stroke or is going through cancer, you resign and then you go fight the battle with them. That's how a lot of great people in this country take care of their families. Jill got out the popcorn and sat back there while she thought Joe was having a stroke and said, "I wonder if this is what's going to take him." My God.
Well, Tony, that's what we were talking about earlier, too. But either of these things are wrong. Jill's sitting there while the debate's going on. Had my spouse appeared to be having a stroke, I would have shut it down live or not. I don't care. And said, look, I'm taking him off the stage right now. There's a problem. Boom. I don't care. And or if she's lying and saying, "Oh, well, just she's deflecting right now," that's not right either.
Again, there's nothing wrong to say. By the way, they came back to this later during the campaign and said, "Oh, he had to take an Ambien because 2 weeks ago because he's been flying around the world, whatever." By the way, even if they had that ready to go, if something really truly was that wrong, you could at least make up an excuse on the spot and say, "Look, he's not feeling well. He's the president of the United States. We'll reschedule this. It is what it is." And then they could have tutted about that. But when you go in with the game plan of, we're going to lie to the American people, you lie down with dogs and you wake up with fleas. There are consequences to these actions. And I don't feel bad for Jill at all. In fact, I'd love to see Jill tossed in the same catapult we put Mom Donnie in.
Well, Jill, she has her humanoid form. And then when she's ready to morph into her more alien form, she sounds a little bit different. Say it with me. So that's her going from her humanoid form into her. And then after that, she had the nerve to tell us how great Joe's doing. After great job, Joe. You answered all the questions like it was a kindergarten quiz.
I gotta throw this out there as well, and I know you guys have seen it. Joe Biden, he's suing the Trump administration. He's suing the DOJ to try to keep several audio files from his biography interviews back in 2016 and 17. Where he violated the law about 37 times. He's trying to keep those sealed.
Now, why, Tony? Why?
Well, I mean, we could ask that question. This is the fun one, is saying, well, why would you want to keep those things sealed? Also, he wants to keep them sealed from my friends over at the Oversight Project. But here's something else. Robert Hur made the conclusion Joe Biden is too mentally unstable. He is too much of a doddering old fool to stand trial after he believed that Biden had violated the law. So let me ask you both something, my dear friends in St. Louis.
Yes.
How can you be incompetent to stand trial, but competent enough to file a lawsuit against the Department of Justice? Square that circle with me.
Well, how can you be competent to run the country?
Yeah, that was the big question then. If you're incompetent to stand trial, but yet you're competent enough to be the president of the free world.
That doesn't make sense.
That makes no sense.
I mean, just the amount of gaslighting that goes on. I mean, you would think they do less of it because gas is expensive. But I mean, the consistent gaslighting that still rules the roost in this entire industry, it just has eroded any kind of empathy or sympathy or pimpathy that I might have once had. I just throw them all in the dumpster, lock the door, and then ship it to China since that's where they want to be so bad.
Tony, we're finding out, in retrospect here, we're finding out facts about the Biden administration. It turns out, and we've mentioned this actually before during the Biden administration, that it was a bad production of a bad B movie. It was a complete production. Joe Biden was an actor. He was never in charge of this country. There were probably 5 to 8 individuals behind the scenes, including Barack Hussein Obama, that were running the show. And they even built an Oval Office outside of the Oval Office because it wouldn't fit the teleprompters.
Oh, my God.
How funny is it that we have Joe Biden, who has done more like television-esque style production during his presidency than the reality TV star that became the president?
Yeah.
Like the Situation Room at Mar-a-Lago, is essentially just a black supply closet with a bunch of folding tables and a projector from 1992.
From the
like
AV
the kind
department.
that like, yeah, exactly. Like, you know, that you have to wheel in on the elementary school cart, that kind of a thing. and you have all the pictures there and they're like zooming in and it's like, wow, Donald Trump's just sitting there in a USA hat. And then you'd have Joe Biden and he'd be like, oh, all right, we've rebuilt the 13th Call Her Daddy set for Joe Biden to broadcast from. And you can see the strings, but just pretend that you can't.
Yeah.
For Weekend at Biden's.
And
My God.
I'd like to say, too, how dare they now talk about Trump's inability physically and mentally
Yes.
to run the country after we watched that crap for 4 years?
They're trying. They are trying, Tony.
I mean, there's also this other aspect of like the journalism, like we stand behind our journal, we stand behind our whatever. I was asked by a certain host of a network with 3 very red letters on the screen, if I was going to retract my statements about their really crappy journalism. And my response was, you guys spent 4 years on purpose ignoring stories. Why should I all of a sudden give you the benefit of the doubt just because Jake Tapper phoned in a book with Alex Thompson of Axios? Like, you're still doing this crap. You're just upset that the ratings that you used to have now gone to a very handsome bearded man who happens to look like the vice president in Indiana. Sucks to suck.
Well, what was their answer? I'm dying to know what their answer was when you said that to them.
They asked for my number and started sending me very risque pictures because they said that was very hot to be told right to their faces.
So funny. We're talking to Tony Kinnett from the Daily Signal. So let's talk about Iran a little bit here.
Okay.
I've never seen more shots being fired during.
You've also never seen Muqtada Khamenei, but you know.
Is that the gay Ayatollah?
Yeah.
The legless, penisless, supposedly alive son of Ayatollah Al-Khamenei? Yes, that would be him.
Hold on one second.
Well, that's the second time.
Hold on, the both of you. I don't know if he's penis.
I'm not holding on to that. Oh, we do, because they blew off his legs, and they may have blown off his third leg as well. That's what the internal wires, the diplomatic wires that we've intercepted, have said, that if he is alive, I mean, he also has no sphincter. He has no rectum either. So they literally blew his ass off. So you have the upper half of Darth Maul running the country of Iran. It's just incredible.
Do you have this kind of potty mouth on your own show?
You think this is potty mouth? I mean, man, I got to call Howard Stern and tell him my game's not up there.
All right. So first of all, the answer that you gave CNN sounded great. It sounded like me, like you could have fit a whoosh in there. You
could have.
That's okay. We don't
know
need
what I'm saying?
We don't need any whooshes.
Oh, no,
We'll be fine.
I wasn't the first whoosh to CNN. That's Rob Bluey.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right, pal. And he dragged you in and said, "Listen, you want to work here? Say whoosh, damn
Whoosh.
it." There you go.
I have never been in drag. Thank you very much, sir. What do I look like? James Tallarico? No, thank you.
So, all right, you brought him up. Ken, play the meat one. Would you play the meat?
The meat one.
The meat cut. I think it's number 1.
Yeah, I got the meat
Yeah.
one.
Listen to this, Tony.
Oh, hold on.
Let's go while we're
I think
young.
we've heard more and more issues of animal welfare. I think not just because it's the right thing to do and the moral thing to do, but also it's, as all of you know, necessary to fight climate change. It is now existential that we try to reduce our meat consumption and that we try to respect animals in all aspects of society. And so I am proud to say that our campaign has officially become a non-meat campaign. So we we are only buying vegan products from our local vegan businesses. Some of you may know Big Nona's. They were little Nona's, and then they opened.
We know Big Nona, you know.
Incredible. First of all, that's an insult to Nonas. Like, that's an insult to Italian and Sicilian grandmothers everywhere. So watch your mouth. Number 2, I love the reaction he got. It's like, and the crowd goes mild.
Yes,
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
All 12 of them.
One
Yeah.
saggy-armed lady named Susan in the back slapping her arm fat together. There you go, Tallarico. Now you've got to win.
So
Gracious.
It's amazing to me. It really is. So you don't want people to eat beef in Texas? Is that what I'm hearing you saying?
Something like that, yeah.
The Democrat account officially, so I have so many places to run with this latest version of Beto that so many of our friends in the media sphere think has a magical chance this time. You know, anyway, this guy who they have made his first big campaign photo, him holding, I guess what appears to be the skinniest bacon wrapped turkey leg I've ever seen and taking a bite out of it. why would you make the first campaign image you holding a phallic-shaped object? I'm serious. Why would you do that? Why they don't learn any lessons at all. They're sticking with the God is non-binary thing, which, as your independent, fundamental Baptist boy from a Bible college in Wisconsin, I raked him over the coals for that because he has no idea what he's talking about. I mean, this is the worst guy they could have picked. Jasmine Crockett would have done better than this.
I think after this is all over, the beef farmers, cattle ranchers in Texas should all line up and they all get to use their brand on Tallarico's ass.
If he wouldn't, I mean, that would be a great idea if I didn't think he'd like it.
You know what? That's true.
You're right, yeah.
All right, final thing I want to talk about with you, Tony, is in New Jersey, my home state, in Newark, New Jersey, the ICE facility, where two guys walk out of the facility from behind the fence. They're clearly Latino, right? They look, they're brown people, as
Hispanic,
the left likes to call them.
Sure.
And everybody's like, yeah, woo, you made it out. And the lady goes, they work here, dumbass.
I'm just so amazed that the way that middle-aged white women on the left, because again, with ladies on the right and independent ladies, they age gracefully, but
hot.
ladies on the left either turn into Pumbaa from The Lion King, Michael Scott with glasses from The Office, or they look like Jennifer Welch, like Botox from hell.
Oh,
and they were so excited to see a brown person. Like, you could already hear them practicing their Mexican accents for ordering at the restaurant. Hey, there they go. We'd like a nacho supreme over here at this table. I mean, like, you can hear them like so excited because they think brown person, that means they're illegals. Hey, somebody get that guy a lawnmower, I thought I heard one of them saying.
And, we know now that Joe Biden was bilingual.
Say it with me. Si se puede.
Beautiful work. I mean, do you hear the culture? I mean, that you could order a breakfast taco with that kind of culture. Can I,
What did she call bodegas? She called them
Bogadas.
Bogadas?
Yeah.
Moga down to the bogadas.
And I think this was si se puede.
She's supposed to say puede, yeah. Puede is can.
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Yes,
Si
we
se
can.
puede.
Say it with me. Si se puede.
Did you understand my language?
I don't
people?
understand how we got through that 4 years. All right, Tony. What about your show? Tell us about your great show.
Well, our super duper alley-ooper show that gets surprisingly few FCC violations. That's on at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. You can find that over at youtube.com/Daily Signal. And we're having a lot of hoots tonight. We're talking about, apparently Biden is suing us. I just found out this morning. I'm not joking.
Wait,
Biden is,
suing the Daily Signal?
I mean, well, the Heritage Foundation and our dear friends with the Daily Signal are also being sued because we filled out Freedom of Information Act requests. So,
how dare you?
It's exciting times. I know. We do what we can.
Have you met Drew Thomas Allen yet?
Yeah, out in California. He's a cool guy. He's not gay. I like him.
What was there ever a question that he was gay?
No.
Where did that
Well,
come from?
I've been Islamophobic. I just try to be homophobic in the same segment. Try to round it out.
Ken's proud to be Islamophobic.
Yeah, I am.
But he also eats Pop-Tarts, so.
I like them. They're good.
Tony Kinnett from the Daily Signal. Good luck with your little lawsuit there, buddy. Thank you so much.
Thanks, gals. Stay golden.
Hey, see you, Tony.
Did he say thanks, gals?
Maybe.
Stay golden.
And stay golden.
So old woman, not just a woman. I'm an old woman.
Right.
Fantastic.
That's good stuff.
I'm not going to lie. It is good stuff. All right. Nothing like a good old-fashioned debate / wrestling match. This Tuesday, sorry, June 2nd, NewstalkSTL and the Hammond Institute for Free Enterprise and the St. Charles County Republican Central Committee hosting the live debate at Lindenwood University at the beautiful J. Scheidegger Center for the Arts. Jason Law, Bill Eigel, and Steve Ellman in a steel cage match to the death.
It's going to be exciting.
I think it's going to be, and I think Bill Eigel is going to be the catalyst if it starts to get hot and heavy and loud.
Yeah.
I think because, how Bill is. He doesn't,
I think Jason Law will contribute to that. Steve Ellman will wait.
Yeah, but I think you're right that Jason Law will fall into line. But Bill will start it. I really think Bill will start all the crap.
I'm with you.
Chris and Tim are going to be out live from 4 to 6 o'clock. Doors open at 5:45. Program starts at 6:30.
And I like how you said there's a tailgate with Tim and Chris.
Yeah.
Well, I want to go over there.
Bring the brats, and the grill, and the beer.
Well, maybe not that, but
the debate starts live on News Talk STL at 7 o'clock. Brought to you by Mid-Rivers News Magazine, the Lewis and Clark Pachyderms Club. Go to NewstalkSTL.com.
Watch us on our live stream using Rumble, Facebook, and Twitter. The Vic Porcelli Show.
I think we should be able to have a civil conversation.
The news and talk that matters to St. Louis.
This conversation has completely made me crazy.
This is complete insanity.
News Talk STL.
Hey, folks, Jamie Allman here for Newstedter's Fine Jewelry right there at Doherty Ferry and Big Bend. WowDiamonds.com. It's Wow Diamonds for a reason. These are beautiful lab-grown diamonds. They are gorgeous. They will blind you when you walk in and see them, but that's a good thing. Great engagement sets, wedding sets, all these beautiful God-created gems, sapphires, rubies, you name it, garnets, and also all the gold you need, and the famous bull of a watch, WowDiamonds.com.
I'm Dr. TJ, owner of the Institute of Natural Health, co-owner of Optimal Nutraceuticals, and the host of Wellness One. Wellness One is designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you common sense, science-based information regarding health and wellness. On the show, we discuss topics like thyroid health, gut health, hormone optimization, and many others. Our show airs Saturdays at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. and Sundays at 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. right here on Newstalk STL. And you can visit us at INHSTL.com. That's INHSTL.com.
Got scrap metal, junk cars, or old appliances taking up space? Turn that clutter into cash. Since 1968, 21 Recycling and Scrap Metal has been the area's trusted name for recycling. We buy copper, brass, aluminum cans, scrap iron, wheels, catalytic converters, AC units, water heaters, washers, dryers, and yes, junk cars too. With our brand new truck scale on premises, getting paid is fast and easy. Old Highway 21 by Highway M or 21-recycling.com.
This is what's happening.
I don't like to let these sick people, these thugs, these horrible, horrible people change the fabric of our life, change the course of what we do.
101.9 and 94.1.
Number one for conservative talk.
News Talk STL. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019.
Whoosh.
The Vic Porcelli Show.
Leave the gun. Take the cannoli.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kenneth James Williams. Take a bow, Kenny. All right, Steve is on the phone. We believe it's truck driver Steve. Is that correct, Steve?
Hello?
Hi. Are you truck driver? Yeah. Are you truck driver Steve?
Yes, sir, I am, but I've been
All right, man. So what's on your mind?
So I heard the last guy when they're talking about that meat guy in Texas.
Yeah.
Respect our meat, our animals.
Right.
So I just want to say I do respect the meat that I'm about to eat whenever I sit down for dinner.
Yeah.
We say prayers.
Right.
We're about to eat. We thank God that He gave us the meat that we're about to eat, and we're doing them a favor by eating them, because what more was a cow got to do? He's saving it from looking at itself in a trough.
Well, that's kind of mean, Steve. Whether they're ugly or good looking, I'll still eat them. I don't care.
So we're doing them a favor.
That's right. We're doing them a favor,
are,
Steve. You're absolutely right.
Or are they doing us a flavor?
A flavor.
Oh, see that now?
See, they are.
We'll do the joke, Steve, even though that was pretty good. Have you guys ever seen the commercial for River Bend Ranch on TV?
Yeah.
I get like sexually excited when I see that guy cutting that meat perfectly medium rare. You know, it's like, oh my God, I want that so bad. All right, Steve.
It is good.
Thank you for being with us, and drive safe, okay, baby?
All right, buddy. You have a good day.
You
Hey,
too.
see you, Steve.
Give him one more. There he goes, driving off
There
into
he's
the sunset.
driving off.
I like Steve.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
And I like,
I like everybody. Hey, if you ever get a chance to say something, if you want to, if you feel something, just call us, 912-1019.
Oh, yeah.
314-912-1019.
Ken likes everybody. I hate people.
No, you don't.
Wait a minute. Don't tell me what I like and what I don't like, okay? I'm not talking about our Vic Heads.
Oh, okay.
I like them. I'm talking about
people.
Just people.
Yeah.
When you're out at the store or if you're
in traffic and they drive 20 into 50.
Yeah. If you're at Chipotle, right?
Right.
And they're sticking their hands, kind of corn. I want more corn.
Right.
Just say corn.
Oh, boy, you.
This is all Sebastian Maniscalco stuff. Sometimes I just hate people. Ken, you know the feeling when you watch TV and somebody's doing something so stupid. James Tallarico, for example. Anytime you see Nancy Pelosi's face on TV.
Right.
I hate those people. And I'm not ashamed to say it. Oh, you're such a hater. Yep. Kenny's an Islamophobe, and I'm a hater.
Chris Murphy, for example.
Oh, God, I hate him.
I know.
Who likes him?
Everything that comes out of his mouth is derogatory and wrong.
Yeah. And not to mention, especially him, right? When he is so stupid, number one. Number two, he goes on these Sunday shows, doesn't even shave, doesn't have a tie on.
And thinks it's cool looking.
Oh, he thinks he's hip? Is that what it is?
I think it is. I think it's him like Swallows Well. He did the same thing.
This show has just gone into the gutter this last 30 minutes. I don't know what's happening. Somebody on the phone or not?
No.
So where was I?
Chris Murphy.
Chris Murphy sucks. I hate people. That's where we were. I hate people. I don't hate all people. I don't want to hear it. There are some people, you know the people I hate. The person that, okay, so here's one. Do you know is it called Texas Roadhouse, the steak place? Is it called Texas?
Yeah.
We get to go from them a lot, it's just quicker and you don't have to wait in line and every time, I swear, every time I go to pick it up, it's already ready, by the way, because they send me the text that says, howdy.
Howdy?
Your order's done. Your order's done. So I go up to the window, and some lady in front of me wants to know if all her biscuits are in the bag and if there's enough butter for every biscuit. And then there's a problem with this, and do I get my drink, and this isn't the right drink. Oh, my God. Just take your bag and leave,
I get it. I get why they would do it, though. I understand. When I'm there, I want to make sure everything I paid for.
See,
because you know what? There are many times where I've left that damn drive-through door, and this is in the past because I haven't been to a fast food place in I don't know how long, but I used to go there, and I get home, and my wife would look at me and go, they forgot the X, Y, or Z. And I'd have to go back up and get it, and I'd have to pay for it.
Can I get it?
Half the time.
But what I'm talking about is not even driving, standing. It's a window you walk up to.
Okay.
So I gotta hear this lady's wretched voice. Besides that, she's is there enough butter for all the buns? And
you hate those people.
I do. Okay. I mean, you brought up, was it a dressing of some kind that they didn't add in the bag?
Oh, it was so many different things. It was a missing sandwich even.
So. That's unacceptable.
I know.
So Lion's Choice, do you like Lion's Choice?
Oh, we used to love Lion's Choice.
Why used to?
Well, we haven't been there in a long time. I just don't go to fast food anymore.
Yeah.
I just don't.
So you're better than me?
No, I just don't
Sounds
go.
to me like you're better than me.
I'm trying to stay healthier.
You don't eat fast food.
Well, no, Lion's Choice is actually an exception.
Not fast food, yeah.
Correct.
So what's the problem?
Oh, because I just can't afford it. I just don't go.
I don't believe that you can't afford it.
I just don't go.
Listen. How close are you to a Lion's Choice?
Probably 3 miles away.
Me too.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Love Lion's Choice. I like their horseradish sauce. Okay. Now, I don't think it's...
And they give you ample amounts, too. What happened?
Nothing. You decide, okay? I'll continue what I was saying, and then you decide whether you thunderstole right there or not, okay? It's up to you. It's up to you. They give you ample amounts if you ask for it, okay? Now, here's the problem. Who are they to judge me on how much horseradish sauce I want on my roast beef sandwich, right?
Right, Talk?
What?
Right. You're right.
So, and this is what made me stop going to the drive-in window. I swear to God, I don't use the drive-in anymore. I walk in, and I take as much damn horseradish. I fill up those cups with the pump thing. I fill up like 5 of them. I like a lot.
Then you store them in your refrigerator.
No, we throw them out. But the point is, I have enough if I need it.
I store them. I used to actually get it like that. I would walk in, and I think they're onto that. They have to be.
Nobody stopped me.
No, I think they know that's what a perk. That's a perk for being there.
Well, it's a perk if you go in the door.
If you go in the door, yeah.
But if you do the drive-through and you ask for like 2 horseradishes for each sandwich, and you're getting like 10, so that's like, oh my God, 20 packets of horseradish. They never put them all in there.
Right.
And I'm like, do you have a place where you hide these at home? Do you have a room where you open the door and all the horseradish packets fall out
like
on you?
SpongeBob, yeah.
What's your problem? It's not your horseradish. Give me my horseradish.
Right.
And that made me go inside and use the pump. And I just pump a whole bunch of horseradish onto my sandwich.
And I used to do that and then save the remaining parts for other sandwiches. I love that stuff, the horseradish.
Hold on. You just flew right by that. I want a little more explanation from you. So you hold on to them in case you want it on
other sandwiches.
Like?
Oh, I don't know. If I make a salami sandwich, just cheese and salami, I'd throw it on there. Yeah, it's good.
Huh. Okay. Do you like Braunschweiger?
As a kid, I did.
Do you now?
No, I haven't had it since I was a kid.
I love it.
Do you really?
Oh, absolutely love it. And it's better than liverwurst. It's something different about Braunschweiger is not liverwurst. They're not equal.
I would imagine that everything's better than liverwurst.
Why? Because the word liver is in it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I actually like liver, but just the cold, the idea of a cold liver of any kind would be not good for me.
Did I hear you say you like liver?
Oh, I love liver.
Maybe I should have called you when I was growing up and have you substitute for me at dinner time.
Well,
my mother was anemic, and she had to have liver, and then she'd make the liver, and I'd be like, I can't eat this.
Okay, I got to tell you where I get it from, though. When I was at Mizzou,
organ harvesting?
we were that because I worked at the med center.
Ah, there you go.
Okay,
yeah,
it was the tray service. It wasn't harvesting anything. We would get the trays from the rooms, or the trays would be left in the area where we would deliver them to the guests, right? But there were leftovers, a lot of them every day, and they had liver on every single day. So I would take the liver home to my fraternity brothers because we were all cheap, and we would eat this, and we all loved it. It was, I don't know if it was the way they made it or what, but I really became a fan of that. I would look so forward to taking that liver home in a package and then open it up and everybody go, oh, let's have some liver.
Now, how would you prepare that?
Heat it up. It was so good that we just heated it. It had onions on it.
Yeah, liver and onions, right?
Yeah,
Onions.
yeah.
My mother was anemic, so she had to have liver because it was iron. There's a lot of iron in liver.
Right,
like that.
Yeah.
And my mother was a great cook of Italian foods. American foods, not so much, you know. Terrible meatloaf. God, terrible beef stew. But if she made that aglio or that eggplant parmesan.
Oh, yeah.
Eggplants are coming in. Did I tell you that?
No.
Yeah, in the garden.
They're starting, you can see them.
They're like a flower.
Okay.
They'll start with a flower.
Right.
And then a little white thing comes out of the flower that looks like an egg. That's why I call it eggplant.
Okay.
And then it grows into the big eggplants, and then we have eggplant parmesan one day, I hope.
You should take a picture and get a progression going.
Like a, what do they call it? What do they call it?
Progression?
No. Time lapse. Time lapse.
Yes. Time lapse.
I hate you. I swear to
Progression.
God. All right. Chat box is next. Stick around.
Stream the Vic Porcelli Show at NewstalkSTL.
When I was a boy, my mom would say to me, the world's a mystery, the dark is the light.
The Vic Porcelli Show.
By the way, it used to make beer brewed here. It is used to make the brew beer in this fine. Oh, Earth Rider, thanks for the Great Lakes. I wonder what.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL. Columbo and Company.
Governor Kehoe has put a spotlight on the August elections in Missouri, and we're already feeling the impact. We'll dig into it Thursday with State Rep David Castile, plus Virginia Cruda from the Daily Wire and Dr. Randy Tobler.
Live and local weekdays at 2 on News Talk STL.
Democracy is loud, and on Tuesday, June 2nd, you can be right in the middle of it. NewstalkSTL is bringing the St. Charles County Executive Primary Debate to Lindenwood University in St. Charles at the J. Scheidegger Center for the Arts. No reservations, no tickets, just show up. Can't make it in person? Catch every word live on NewstalkSTL from 7 to 8:30 p.m. The St. Charles County Executive Primary Debate on June 2nd. Brought to you by the St. Charles County Republican Central Committee, Mid-Rivers News Magazine, Lewis & Clark's Pachyderms Club, and the Hammond Institute for Free Enterprise at Lindenwood University.
State Freedom Caucus Unfiltered, Sunday nights at 7 on NewstalkSTL. Hear all the behind-the-scenes stories about what the State Freedom Caucus is doing across the country, directly from the legislators and the people that are doing it. State Freedom Caucus Unfiltered, this Sunday night at 7 with your host, Tim Jones. State Freedom Caucus Unfiltered, now Sunday nights at 7 on NewstalkSTL.
Tim Jones and Chris Arps in the afternoon.
Speaking with Missouri Attorney General Catherine Hanaway.
I'm particularly concerned about the products that are really aimed at kids that look like Skittles, Chips Ahoy cookies, Doritos that contain THC. So these places are selling pot, but they're also selling these other products that you can't make any argument but that they are targeted at kids.
Tim Jones and Chris Arps, weekdays at 4 on NewstalkSTL.
1 in 4 women will have an abortion before the age of 45 in this country. That's the tragedy we must work to stop. Mike Ferguson from The Morning Show here, and that is why Reach Reproductive Health is here, to empower parents to save the lives of innocent children and to see these families come to Christ. And you can be a part of saving and changing lives. So pray and visit outreachforlife.org to learn more, volunteer, and donate. That's outreachforlife.org.
Somewhere there's speaking, it's already coming in. Oh, and it's rising at the back of your mind. You never could get in unless you were fed in. And now you're here.
Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Be cool, honey bunny. Be cool.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
I'm a fan of the intensity of the celebration.
Locals and visitors getting a first physical look ahead of UFC Freedom 250 after renderings were released this weekend, showing plans for a temporary arena on the South Lawn. Crews now assembling major steel structures to surround the fighters. No football, no baseball, no soccer. Apparently just guys fighting each other.
Yeah, same as the politics right now.
Flag Day, June 14th, is the target date for the event, which also happens to be President Trump's 80th birthday. National Park Service records show event setup and tear down stretches from May 20th through late June, underscoring the size of the transformation. The Washington Post reports roughly 4,000 spectators are expected near the secured South Lawn viewing area. More people expected to gather in separate viewing areas.
I think it's pretty cool, though. The public loves that.
Who was that guy doing the reporting? Do you know?
Some local reporter. I don't know.
He's terrible.
Well,
He's terrible.
Oh, okay. No, I don't know. I don't know
All
who he might be.
So Kathy Hochul, Donald Trump said, Kathy Hochul was the governor of New York, by the way. Donald Trump said that he's a lifelong Knicks fan. And Kathy,
he has receipts.
Yeah. I mean, he grew up in Queens. Let's start there. I was a diehard Knicks fan when I lived in New York. I became not a basketball fan of the NBA, not so much not liking the Knicks, but not liking the NBA. But
like I saw a video of him with the Knicks when he was doing this Apprentice, and he
shot it. Nothing but net.
Yeah, nothing but net.
Nothing but net. So Hochul says, "Oh yeah, well, if he's a lifelong Knicks fan, can he name the starting lineup of the 1993 championship team?" Yeah, there was no 1993 championship team.
Man, what a mistake.
They haven't won since 1973. So I replied, "Idiot." Oh, plus Walt Frazier, number 10, Dick Barnett, number 12, Willis Reed, the captain, number 19, Bill Bradley, number 24, Dave DeBusschere, number 22, the 1969-70 World Championship New York Knickerbockers.
Wow.
So
why would she say something? That's Democrats do this all the time. They go just skin deep with their opinion, and then they don't realize that someone's going to question anything that they say.
Right.
I mean, she said the 93, and the reporter said, "Oh, okay." Like it was truth. And then someone, of course, is going to respond to that and say, just technically, they haven't won a championship since 1973, just so you know.
Unbelievable. All right, let's do some chat boxing. Good morning, Freedom Fighters. Thank you, Tom. Back at you, baby. Bill Harrison, good morning, Vic Heads. Congratulations to my son, Logan, and all the Seckman High School graduates. Whoosh to all you He said whoosh to it, graduates.
Whoosh.
Good morning, Freedom Fighting Vic Head. Barb, thanks so much. What the cluck is going on here? Uh-oh, I'm late. Whoosh, you bunch of Vic Heads. That's our buddy Grant.
Whoosh.
Kathleen,
I'm sorry, guys. What's going on here?
Just relax, VP, okay? I should have been a vice president because I'm VP.
Wow. That would have been good.
And if my middle name was Irving, I'd be a VIP.
Right.
So?
Or Ira. Irving, Ira, Imish. VIP. All the way.
You've completely lost me.
Just
Irving?
Different name.
Oh, middle name that starts with I.
Correct.
Got it now.
Correct.
You could have went with something Christian like Isaiah or something like that.
Maybe
but
that.
You went right to the Jewy.
Didn't I?
The Irving.
Huh.
Good morning, Bam Bam. Have a great day, everybody. Good morning, Jay Say. Listen to your way back music on the weekend. Amy Mazzara says, good morning, Vic Head Patriots. Susie Stein's Horn says, Stargate SG-1. I think that might be when I walked into the CT room yesterday.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
And it looked like it scared me. It really scared me. Rat's in the chat box.
Rat.
Yo, Vic and Ken. Whoosh. Give my man
Whoosh.
Rat a whoosh. Tom Vitale says, hey, guys. Leanne, did I ever mention to you, Ken, that I think that Bounty is the quicker picker-upper?
I think you've mentioned it. Yeah, and this is for Leanne.
Hey, how you doing?
Bet. How you doing, Leanne? Good morning, Freedom Fighting Vic Heads. Maybe the reason pharma advertises is a way to pay the networks with an agreement that they'll keep the money rolling for advertising as long as the network doesn't ask any questions or investigate any of the things you're questioning about Big Pharma.
Oh, yeah.
So they pay the networks through advertising. Networks never question Big Pharma. Another conspiracy theory. Why hasn't Leslie Stahl on 60 Minutes said, tonight we're going to talk to pharmaceutical CEOs and why they advertise on TV and they charge people so much money for pharmaceuticals. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Leanne is completely correct.
And while 60 Minutes is interviewing them on that, Vic, they should ask them the question, why is it that the top 5 pharmaceutical companies in the world, the CEOs of those companies, accumulatively have $154 billion as their annual income?
We can't confirm that. Sir.
$154 billion.
We cannot confirm. This is 60 Minutes. I'm not trying to do a Leslie Stahl. I wouldn't want to sound like her joking around or not. All right. Rumble, Ed Stoit, simply won. He was first. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. No fair election.
No peace.
No fair tariffs.
No peace.
No fair chat box.
No peace.
President, my patience is waning. Donald John Grover Cleveland Trump. Good morning, all you beautiful, MAGA, ultra-patriotic, deplorable, garbage, and degenerate, freedom-fighting, God-fearing, Vic Head. Where does Wish?
Whoosh.
Damn, never skinny. Good morning, fellow Vic Head Patriots. Whoosh from Coyote. Thank you.
Whoosh.
Thank you. Hey, it's good to see you.
Good morning, St. Boss.
Not what I said.
It's good to see you.
There we go. Coyote, what's up? Hey, Karen, how you doing? Karen.
Hey, how you doing?
All right, listen, we have to explain this, and I feel terrible about this, but Karen is doing the show on the first day of Vic for Vets month. All of June, every day in June, we're going to do a Vic for Vets, because if the gays want a month, our veterans get a month. Now, I didn't realize when I asked for Monday off that it was the 1st of June. I just didn't realize it.
Well,
and I have to do some medical stuff I got to do. And was it Billy Joel?
It looked like it.
Who is that? He looks like Billy Joel. Billy Joel now. So I have to get a medical thing. I gotta get like ultrasound.
Yeah.
On my kidney and my aorta. So that was the only day.
No, that's the most important thing.
If I could do it,
fine.
I'd have them bring the thing in here, and I'd do it right here, sitting right here.
That's okay. We'll probably do a Vic for Vets honoree for that day.
I would love that.
Okay, and then we'll just kick things off with on Tuesday, the following day. We're going to have. I'm hoping we're going to have a couple of great veterans live in studio.
Milkshake Man coming back to talk
That's
to
what
us?
I'm talking about.
The Milkshake Man is Tuesday?
And Pete, yeah.
Perfect. All right. Prayers lifted for thank you, Ed. I appreciate that. Good morning, Vic Heads. You two, Vic and Ken. Hey, thumbs up. There's only two. Good morning, all freedom-fighting patriot Vic Heads. Wish my brothers and sisters.
Wish.
Duke. Gene, the dancing machine. What's up? Hiya, Duke. Morning, Vic and Ken, all freedom-fighting, loving patriots. Enjoying full-time RV life. Leaving Sparta World Shooting in Recreation Complex today for Carlisle Lake after stop in Belleville.
See, this is what my wife and I talked about recently, is getting an RV when she retires, because I'll be retired already. And then, see, I'll be working retired. I'll be retired working, whatever, like you do. And then take an RV and just travel around.
Don't forget, when the poopers fall, you gotta put it down the drain.
Oh, yeah, I have to educate myself in the whole gray water. And
Cousin Eddie didn't worry about it.
Well, Cousin Eddie didn't, did he? And he ran it just fine.
Hi, Allison. Ed says hi to Allison. Gene, you are close to my stomping grounds. That's right. We got to remember, Ed's from the People's Republic of Illinois.
Yeah.
In respect, reserving my comments now. R.I.P. Brian, good causes.
Yeah.
Brian McKenna. I swear to God, Ken, when the river went under, which was no fault of yours and no fault of mine.
And the irony there is that the river was on top when the advisors said, let's change it.
Let's break it up.
Yeah.
And when that happened, Brian McKenna called me immediately. And he said, hey, why don't you come on and be on the show tonight? We got, doing a show from some sports bar in South City.
That's great.
I said, all right, I'll be there. Because that's the kind of guy he was. And, he used to always say, your vibe attracts your tribe. That means if you're an ass, that's what you're gonna attract.
And
because he's a mensch.
And if you're a mensch, you will attract other mensches.
Right.
Or is it menchi?
I don't know. But it's a good idea.
All right, listen here, you.
Okay,
listening?
yo.
Deli Day, pastrami on rye, egg cream? Not today. I'm going to make you an egg cream.
Okay.
I got the You Bet syrup at home, the exact right syrup you have to have.
Do you? Where'd
for
you get it?
I don't know.
Like you've had it since you were back in Jersey?
I'll have to ask the finance CEO, the CFO of the company, our company, our family. Vic, I'm not the only one who shows his ass to his wife and asks her to look at it. I do mine in a medical way, Ed. Is this thing infected? ED, Ed Stoit. Oh,
why
wow.
would you do that?
250-year anniversary of the nation. 5-year anniversary of the station. 50-year anniversary of Vic graduating high school. Wow.
A lot of fives.
Hopkins did that. He's not even the official historian of the chat box.
No kidding.
Dadgummit.
So, Ken, I, of course, would have to have you approve this, but I'm going to find out the exact date of my high school graduation 50 years ago. Bicentennial, by the way. 200th anniversary of the country.
Okay.
Bicentennial.
Right.
Our tassels were red, white, and blue.
Nice.
It was all, the Liberty Bell was on the front of our yearbook.
I remember the patriotism in 1976. I remember that as a kid.
Yeah. So I'm going to find the exact date and bring in my yearbook, and I'll read you some of the stuff that people wrote, and
that'd be great.
Show you some of the goofy pictures of us. Everything.
There is a storm in our nation. There is darkness and wind.
I'm not lying. I felt great this entire show, and then I heard Spartacus there, and then my head started to hurt right here.
You're right.
Cory Booker. Yes, everything was patriotic. I don't want you to think I didn't hear what you said or not respond.
No, I got you.
We'll be listening on app. We'll be fishing and some target practice. That would be great.
I started listening, by the way, on the app in my car. I never have. I've always had it tuned in, but I decided, let me just put it on here. And now when I get in my car and just turn the engine on, it just grabs my phone. If my phone's with me, and it automatically just fires it off.
Every morning. I don't listen to the radio coming in. I listen to the app coming in every morning.
Yeah.
We need to Wait, I'm jumping ahead. Sorry. If they stop making drug commercials and sponsoring shows, stadiums, and so forth, that would lower the cost of the drugs, and then they can compete with other countries. If they did that, they would make plenty of money to actually make the generics as well, and then capitalize on that.
I just think there's a lot there. I really do. I think there's so much there. They spend billions a year just on their advertising. It's crazy.
I know they spend billions on research, but they should.
Well, yeah.
It's a conspiracy to launder our money.
We've got to get these pharmaceuticals down. We've got to get prices in general down. It's just, there are people out there that are just having so much trouble with this whole thing.
We need to rise up as a country and demand that we have secure drugs manufactured here. Be damned the corporate crap, dadgummit.
I know the Trump administration is trying to do so much with manufacturing now, but I mean, honestly, that's a big lift. That takes years.
Here's a great point, Ken. Every commercial, every drug commercial on TV is ignored by a majority of people, and they could save money, lower our costs, because nobody pays attention to your stupid commercials anyway.
Right.
Because they're so stupid. Every channel, as I scan on cable, has a drug commercial. It's a conspiracy to launder our money.
But what another Vic had said earlier, it makes so much sense, is they continue to pay media so they could keep forwarding the information, and it's like a big vicious circle. They make a lot of money, and so does the media, and the media props them up. How many times do you hear, brought to you by Pfizer? The Academy Awards were brought to you by Pfizer.
We should find that montage that we used to play where there was like 100 shows in a row.
There were, yeah. I'll try and find that, actually.
Vic Skipper, yesterday I wasn't inferring that you were large. I was inferring you're a smart navigator of the airways. Good dodge.
There you go.
Good deflection,
I like
Ed.
that.
Ken's the professor because he can do anything with a coconut and salt water, etc., to produce effective radio. Good morning, Patriots. Late start today because of work. Catching up on the replay. Thank you, Mark. Tony's funny. He's great. Yeah, he is. Tony's awesome. His attitude is so what we all feel, too.
Yeah.
Hello, gang, from Dave in St. Louis. Dave in St. Louis.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, how you doing?
At least Tony didn't say, stay golden, pony boy. That's from the movie Step Brothers. I don't know that, but I don't think I like it. The event complex they're building on the White House grounds is massive. If you ever have seen the movie Contact, it looks like the contraption from that movie to time travel.
I'm not kidding you here. That's one of my favorite movies of all time, and when I saw that for the first time, I'm like, what in the hell is that? Because they were reporting from the White House, and then I thought, oh man, that looks like that device.
Yeah.
And of course
Contact.
it's not, but you know.
And then you were talking earlier about Chain Reaction.
Yes, the movie.
Okay. So I'm going to research both of those. I show my wife my ass for medical reasons, too. I didn't say you didn't. I'm just saying I do. FYI, tomorrow will be my 50-year anniversary of my high school graduation. Hopkins' 50th anniversary of his high school graduation. Have a blessed day, y'all. That's it. Every comment done in the books.
Wow.
Don't want to hear it.
Good job there, Vic Porcelli.
That's all you, Ken.
No one can accuse you of trying to slight people on posts on the chat box.
Man, you are deflected today all over the place. Thank you, y'all, for having the record player on at night to listen to us this morning.
Make sure you have the record player on at night.
You're mocking me, aren't you?
No, not by any means. Jamie Allman is next. 3 Martini Lunch.
The award-winning show.
Common Sense Conservative Radio. He'll take you to 2 o'clock. Kenny and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for listening to 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
See you, everybody.
Whoosh.
1949, the last time a Republican held the top post in St. Louis City. A gallon of milk was 84 cents and streetcars ran down Grand Avenue. Unfortunately, St. Louis City streets are no longer the epicenter of family and business life. In the 80 years of Democrat control, our city has been on a steady decline.
Hello, Kirk Ilsinger, chairman of the Republican Party for the city of St. Louis, and we believe it is our duty to provide a different path forward. I invite you to our meetings the first Thursday of every month. Learn more at stl-gop.com.
Paid for by St. Louis City Republican PAC. Curtis Farber, Treasurer.
Lower your car payment today. Lower your car payment today. Yes, you heard us right. You can lower your car payment right now by making this free call and save up to $1,400 a year on your current car payments. Think about your current car payment right now. What's that costing you per year? Now think about what it would be like to put an extra $1,400 back in your pocket. That's the average savings our customers experience. We can help you drive the same car and pay less every month by lowering your car payment's interest rate to as low as 4.67%. At Rate Genius, we can work with you to refinance any car payment. If you qualify, it costs you nothing to find out how you can lower your car payment. To learn more, call this number right now.
800-493-5670. 800-493-5670. 800-493-5670. That's 800-493-5670.
KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Bellefonte, KNBS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 1019, 94.1, and always streaming at NewstalkSTL.com.
Breaking news at Town Hall. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. U.S. and Iranian negotiators have reached a tentative agreement to extend the ceasefire by 60 days and launch talks on Iran's nuclear program. That's according to U.S. officials familiar with the matter who say that President Trump still needs to sign off on the emerging memo of understanding. Democrats stymied in their battle against the president's effort to ensure election integrity.
A federal judge is refusing to block President Donald Trump's executive order to create a federal voter list that would be used to decide who receives a mail-in ballot. U.S. District Judge Carl Nichols, a Trump appointee in Washington, has rejected the request by Democrats and civil rights groups that argued Trump's order would likely be found unconstitutional because only the states and Congress have the power to set election rules. Nichols agreed with the Republicans that it's too early to block the order because it hasn't been implemented. In Boston, voting rights groups have a separate lawsuit in federal court to block the executive order, which was issued in March after a bill Trump supported to overhaul voting stalled in Congress. Donna Warder, Washington.
More Americans sought unemployment benefits last week, but layoffs remained low despite economic uncertainty brought on by the war with Iran. On Wall Street right now, the Dow is up by about 60 points. The Nasdaq up 214 as Wall Street hangs near its records.
I'm Seth Sutell, and this is Markets in a Minute. Stocks are hovering near their records on Wall Street as more companies, including Dollar Tree, Snowflake, and Hormel Foods, keep piling up profits. More economic reports are also showing pressure building on the economy because of the war with Iran. The S&P 500 rose 0.3% in the first hour of trading Thursday. The Dow slipped 26 points. That's about 0.1%. The Nasdaq Composite rose 0.3%. Dollar Tree soared about 17%. The company became the latest to report bigger profits than Wall Street was expecting. Kohl's rallied 18%. Seth Sutell, New York.
You'll find more on these stories at townhall.com.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or